Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. It's Monday. It's Memorial Day. It's 1 p.m. It's time for a roller wiener, and we always pour out a roller wiener for our homies that died going for freedom, for us. That's what today is all about. Without them, there's no us. There's none of this. There's none of anything. So we take this time to remember their sacrifice for our freedom, and we shouldn't so easily give it up as many in the public have been doing. They have forgotten what people have done for us. So that's the story for today. It is Roller Wiener Monday, and there's not too much going on. Hey, those hours of service, you know what? They might be delayed. A couple people are saying, hey, wait a minute. Yellow missed their health insurance payment for their whole health insurance plan. I don't think I got to that last week, or I didn't put it out there that way. The whole plan is not being paid, so that's pretty awesome for anybody. The HEROES Act has passed the Senate and off to the House. We'll talk about when you might get your money. I've got some rates, and they're looking a little better, I think. And let's see here. So I've got some stocks, of course. There's no stocks today because of the holiday, but there are stocks from Friday. Oh, yeah, so there we go. So there's that. And we are back. And Wild Bill was first today, so on my screen anyway. And let's see, Misty is here today. What's going on today? Tucker Hershey is here on Memorial Day. It's good to see some people. I didn't know how many people would be here today. If anybody was working or what's going on. DA is here. Hello there. I am here. The President, George H.W. Bush, is here. I am live today. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming in. I know you have some ceremonies to attend today as well on the holiday, as the President always does. Christina is here. Hello there, Alexandra. 2 Walmart loads back-to-back. Sounds like a joy. Mark, what's happening today? And Cassius King Trucking is here. You should go over and check out his channel and get some information about what's really going on in the owner-operator side of things. The Flip-Flop Fool is here today, all right? I assume fueling somewhere in your flip-flops. Luke W., what's going on? Kim English, it's good to see you. Today, let's see. Luke is waiting on a load, all right? We'll take that into consideration, as they say. Stephen Taylor, what's going on? UFOs are no joke. I know, they're all over, and they're not a joke to me. Alex, TR drivers checking in. The Grumpy Trucker. You're craving an In-N-Out burger. Yeah, that'd be nice. Bring one over here, too. It's quite a drive to get one for me. Abdi is here. Hello there. Good to see you. All right, let's see. Yeah, please bring me one. I know. Bring a couple over here. Going to another awesome show. I hope so. All right, that's the hope every week. Hope to get at least one in before I die. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing great today. Grafton is here. What's going on, Ralph? And I lost my spot, of course. Ralph is here. Good afternoon. The cat is doing good. She is in the back, busy scaring all the birds away from the bird feeder. You spent your 24th birthday alone on a layover in Georgia, Alex. Isn't that the joy of trucking? That's what, that's what the CEO of Too Simple says. That trucking, it just takes away people's humanity. It takes away the humanity of people, and he's right. That's one thing that he's right about. That's a company that develops autonomous, parts for trucks that are already on the road to make them more autonomous. And he said he's doing that because trucking takes away your humanity. Just gave notice to your company, George Costanza, applied for another job. Current company lied to them about your driver history. What do you do? Yeah, that's a real problem. I would tell them, hey, call that other company up and say, hey, why are you lying? Why are you lying on me? What's up with that? And see what to do from there. You may have to send them a lawyer letter. You may have to talk to a lawyer. Is this stopping you from getting a job? Is what they're saying stopping you from getting a job? That could be a real problem. Am I getting holiday pay if you're working today? Yeah, we would get holiday pay either way. Nobody is working today here, but so I get holiday pay. But if you did work on a holiday for some reason, you get the holiday pay in addition to whatever pay you make. The holiday pay is separate from your pay. So, Christine, I like Monday's show now. Since I've been watching the show, no roller wieners at the Loves. Why not? I had a number of astute viewers send me pictures that you can now even get your own wiener. So, I love that. You don't have to choose, have somebody else choose a wiener for you. Hello from St. Louis, the Grumpy Trucker. Hello there. Jeffrey Herring is here today. Good afternoon. I hope you're doing good today. The Tim Hawk. Hey, hope all is doing well. Thank you to all who have served. Yes, and I wish we could thank those that went before us to keep our freedoms. For Memorial Day, remember those that died for our freedoms. So don't so quickly tear up the Constitution and hide in your house just because some governor tells you to. It's so aggravating to me. It's so aggravating. Oh, well, you should just hide. We got to wait a year. Come on. Freedom. Freedom, do peaceably assemble. Bobby Irvin, I heard that you're going to become a trainer for Sierra England and the Tri-Bunk. Is Gracie training? Gracie will be the assistant trainer. Oh, the Tri-Bunk. That's pretty good. You know, they have a name for that truck now, Tri-Bunk. I love it. After they sent me that hat, there was no way I could refuse their offers. I thought the Senate said they were never going to pass it. Okay, the Senate is looking at the bill. It passed the House, so now it's at the Senate. The HEROES Act. The Senate said as is and not going to pass, but that doesn't mean that they couldn't pass another one. And Trump has said, look, I'm not opposed to another stimulus check. He says, so another bill could get to the president and get signed. So that's what the president has said. I think that there'll be some finagling on this bill. Certainly probably not the way it is. It won't get through, but it's possible that they adjust it and then send it back. And if we can get it past both, it could go to the president. Could do it. Going extra time today. I'm surprised there's anybody here now. So I don't. Usually it's an earlier show on the holidays because people want to get off to go do their kind of stuff. I don't like to hold people up from whatever they're doing, although I guess they can just click out. So, happy Flipping Burger Memorial Day. Yeah, it's going to be hot here too today, 87, and everybody will have to eat their hamburgers 6 feet apart, or 2 meters, of course. Hot in southern Indiana, I know. I just mowed, and it's supposed to rain every day the next week. Yeah, yesterday was super hot. It was 90 degrees here. Ugh. Even in the morning, I went out to get the paper. That was blasting the air. Yikes. Very hot out, very hot. Finally, it went from like being cool to being hot. It was like 50 degrees. Now it's like 100 degrees. So, not great. Happy Roller Wiener Monday, Jim Trucker. I appreciate that. What'd you miss? Nothing yet. Chris to Mike. Hello, sir. Appreciate what you do. Thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that. It's a blast. Noob, what's going on? I was missing watching the 500. At least they're going to run it in August. Yeah, they said something about doing it later. I guess there's a bunch of people down in Indianapolis, though, that are basically partying it up. So, as if it is happening. So, yeah, it's moving to later in the year. Crazy. Traffic's back to normal, no doubt about that. That is true. Jimmy, eastbound and listening. Yes, I appreciate it. Dairy guys still have to drive today. Happy Memorial Day. The cows don't know that it's a holiday. That's the thing about it, that they should not, give milk or anything till the next day. So I guess it's 24/7 for cow-related products. I don't know that much about cows, other than they give milk and stuff. Heading to Apopka, Florida. Alf, all right. Good morning, Jack Daniels. How's Indiana weather? Not bad. Kind of warm out. Milwaukee's cooking. Going to go get tested for Wuhan. Really? Why are you getting tested? Do you just want to get tested? Or do you have symptoms where you want to get tested? That kind of thing. And do they just test everybody? How's it work up there? We have a testing site here in Lafayette that whenever I go out, I drive by it to see what's going on. It's a pull-up site where you just drive in and stuff. I've never seen more than one car there. So, although there's like 10 people walking around in spacesuits. You've noticed traffic getting heavy again? I think it's back to normal. Greetings, Lucas. 30-minute break at the New Jersey Toll on 95 at Hackensack River. Well, hopefully you're headed out. Well, Bill, who do I drive for? Well, that's good. As we say for new people, I don't ever say who I drive for, and I also don't recruit for them. But that keeps them out of your videos, so I always recommend that to people, but I also don't recruit for them. There's tons of people on YouTube only recruiting, although I guess not prime drivers. They all vanished off there, but other people recruit for their company, not me. I let them go get their own drivers. Applied to Crete. Oh, yeah, Werner lied about your history, saying that I have accidents like running over a chair and hitting a deer. George Costanza. All right, did you fill an accident report out for that? So generally companies... every company I think I've ever worked for, right? And probably all of you, if you're a company driver, if you have any kind of an accident, they want you to fill out an accident report, correct? Okay. Where is it? I'd say, give me that. Did you fill out an accident report for them? So there's an interesting one. James, you like the show here? Delivered to 2 Dick's Sporting Goods in Ohio, heading to Virginia. 2 stores Tuesday morning. Oh, we have a Dick's here at the mall. So that's pretty good. Bad news, your dash cam malfunctions and no picture of the bird on the windshield. Well, I have an interesting picture here that I could show here soon that an astute viewer sent in with a vegetable. So, Alexander's checking from Gas City. Oh, you're not that far away. Fleet Nav Systems is here. Hey, everybody. Not super long. Wanted to say hi for a bit. Well, I appreciate you coming in on a holiday. I assume Fleet Nav is closed today. They go live Tuesday and Friday at 3 p.m. And they can change that time if they see fit or whatever. So go check them out on Tuesday. They do a super quick call in there also. And at the end of it, they have a lightning round with questions. So pretty fun over there. Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Fleet Nav Systems. And I lost my spot as usual. All right, so thanks for being here anyway. And I lost my spot. All right. YRC has moved even money betting on my death pool. I know. And they're $1.40, and they were $1.54 at close of business Monday. So $1.40 close of business Friday. And they didn't make their insurance payment. That's a real problem. Now, if I worked there, I'd be thinking, oh, maybe I need to find another job. If they don't make that up, you've got a problem. But, now we've had this pension and stuff. That's a real big deal. Why the heck does Wild Bill always ask who I work for? Because he is always curious about who I work for. Since when is hitting a deer or loose item in the interstate the driver's fault? That's correct. I mean, so there's a loose item on the interstate like a deer or a chair or whatever. I mean, I want the accident report for it first before it even happened. And you're saying it didn't happen, so they're just saying, I would tell who weren't or whatever, I'd say Crete and say, look, this never happened. They're lying. Just because they say it doesn't mean anything. Greetings, truckers. Hope you're getting holiday pay today. Absolutely. And why are you? Besides that, why are you leaving? What do you think? I'm always just curious why people leave a place. What's up, Mark? Working hard. Hey, Beto. Good. How do they make almond milk? I've never seen others. They're super tiny. It's usually people with really small hands have to get that. So printing money is short-term benefit, long-term harm. Oh, yeah. It's a disaster. You can't just keep printing money and giving people money. I agree. Josh is going to make us jealous. It's 79 at the California-Arizona border. It's probably a dry 79, so that would be better because, it's pretty good here already. 80-ish here today. Aviator trucker on vacation tomorrow heading home to Missouri from California over 80. With the SUV and a U-Haul. Wow. The good thing, I always like being in a car or something on the interstate so I could pass everybody. It's just the greatest feeling. Stephen, your son started going back to daycare and one of the parents tested positive. And I happened to cross paths with the parent. Oh, I see. Slightly short of breath. Not sure if it's the allergies or all this. Okay, well, so you probably have a reason to go get tested. I agree, and that's what's going to happen when we get back, but that's part of freedom. That's what I try to tell people. It is just part of freedom. Risk. There's a risk. There's a risk. And if people don't know they're sick, they don't stay home. I get it. So it's a risk. We're all going to eventually probably get it. Probably. Or a lot of us. There's no cure. No cure. So I think we'll all get it. But we can't hide in our homes to be safe. Freedom has risks. And if we're unwilling to take risks, you can't live a life without risk. There's no courage in living a life hiding. Okay? There just isn't. And so we have to get on with our lives. It should never have been stopped to start with. I miss seeing the Doing It Better and Things to Consider videos. Yes, they haven't been out there for a while. That's for sure. Do people with RVs never check to see if their tires are dry rotted? You've seen 6 RVs on the side of the road. No, that's the thing about an RV. They sit and then people are like, oh, well, we could just fire this thing up and drive it across the country. We put, the tires only have 4,000 miles on them. We put them on in 97. They're fine. Exactly. Fleet Nav is technically closed, although we still have emergency support if drivers call in and need something. Okay, I didn't know there was an emergency 800 number for Geotab. That's pretty good. Mine are on dark mode, by the way. Thank you for that. Super great tip. Oh, Mark's stuck at a receiver for 12 hours here at Roundy's supermarket waiting on lumpers to call. Isn't that great? Are they paying you for that? Please tell me you're getting paid for that. Eugene is heading to deliver in Standish, Michigan. Any flooding in that area? Oh, I don't know where that flood was up there. It was a localized thing, and I don't know where Standish is, so we'll see what people say. Hey, Mark, they say freight is down. They're saying like 1990. Also think it's time to end mileage pay. Salary only. I don't know if drivers would like salary. Maybe. They would probably like hourly better. Because if you gave driver a salary of whatever, 1,000, 2,000, doesn't matter. When a driver worked a long week, they would feel like they're working, more. Some places like ShipX do a salary and stuff, but not many do it because I think drivers don't like it. They just don't like it. I'm not sure. I'd have to. What do you think? Salary? Who thinks salary, hourly, or mileage? I had a fully grown road flower get tossed in front of my truck last week, and I knocked it into the ditch. That was between Evansville and Bloomington. All right, being as I'm in my extreme upper 30s, what is a road flower? A fully grown road flower. Caleb, what's going on? It's a decent breeze. All right, surprisingly, winter didn't mess your deck up. They were pretty truthful. Still doesn't help. Maybe you're just bad at trucking. Absolutely more concerned than for the boy. Well, see, I would be less concerned for the kid because kids are less of a problem than anybody. But your kids are going to get it too. Everybody's going to probably get it. Most of the people. Even studies have showed 80% of the planet eventually will get it. It's going to happen. But to not get it, everybody has to only stay in their house. And people are so, self-congratulatory. Oh, I stay in my house. No, but you make other people go out, order your food and stuff. So you can't be like that. If you want to be safe, everybody stays in their house. Everything closes. Every store, everybody, nobody comes out of their front door until there's a vaccine. Otherwise, all people that are saying stay in their house, save it. Save it for somebody else. We don't stay in our house. You have the right to peaceably assemble. You have the right to attend a religious service. You have the right to do all these things, okay? The government can't take that right away. It's listed. Here's rights the government can never take from you. And the government says, stay in your house. Okay, I'll just stay in my house. Government told me. The incidents did happen. I did the mandatory incident report. Ew, they told Crete to have 4 accidents. It'd be like including in your accident history when a steering wheel driver backs into you at Love's. Yeah, well, I'm sure that you explained to Crete that, a deer should never be considered an accident, I don't think. I mean, I haven't hit any this year, but I usually get a deer or 2 every year, and they never say anything about it. You don't even have to fill anything out. You just call them. So, I don't know. What does Crete say when you tell them, hey, this is a chair in the road, this is a deer? I mean, no company counts a deer against you, do they? Got my first roller wiener yesterday since this Rona thing started. Oh, it's so nice. Didn't you feel better too? I mean, they just give you so much energy because they're full of all the good vitamins and minerals that drivers need to keep their day going. There's no cure for the cold, yet we don't hide in our homes. Exactly. There's a lot of things there's no cure for, but we don't hide in our homes. Even if there is a cure for it, we still don't hide in our homes. You still have to go out. Freedom, there's a risk to it. It's all I can say about it. It's just a risk to it. It's risky. You get hit by a car, you get shot. There's a lot of things that could happen. A blimp could fall on you in New Jersey. Stuff happens. At least you're getting paid for the layover. Good. $10 an hour and getting holiday pay as well. Well, that's not terrible. So it's like a day's pay, basically. It's one of those large orange construction barrels. Oh, got it. Schneider egg is what you should have said. Right, then I would have got it. All right, yeah. Okay, but none of that stuff should count. VL Trucking does a salary of $1,500 a week, so $75,000. So to be a salary, I think it needs to pay you 52 weeks a year. So is that how they do it there? 52 weeks, you get $1,500 every week, even your off weeks. That's a salary. Or is there a certain way that it works, or do you know? Canadian Tanker Yanker, another 14-hour day of CO2 hauling in only 1 p.m. That's great. Is there that much need for that, I guess? Soda machines? I seriously wonder why there's a DOT exemption for the 40 hours with no overtime. Well, no, it's not a DOT exemption, right? That's the Fair Labor Standards Act that governs pay, and transportation is exempted in that so that they do not have to pay you overtime. They don't even have to pay you minimum wage. Isn't that great? They don't have to pay you anything. Literally, that's why drivers have a lot of time that is unpaid, because they're not required to pay at all for anything. Road floor equals tumbleweed. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was thinking, but then there'd be no accident report, right? Because you hit them and they just disintegrate into dust. So hourly, at least 21 and time and a half after 40. That would be good. That'd be good hourly. Salary at $1,500 for 70 hours is not great money. Straight time, that's, in the high teens. 16, that'd be $17, $50, $18 an hour. Because you'd get overtime past 40. So that's not great money if you look at it like that. What are you burning on the grill? Nothing out here. Nothing, no cooking on the grill here. Afternoon going to Colorado Springs from Minneapolis. All right, that's pretty good too. Some people are still rolling, I guess. I've started referring to my truck as a self-isolation mobile unit 1. Well, that's true. I mean, drivers would be less exposed because they never see anybody. Even before this, we didn't see anybody, depending on, unless you sat at the lunch counter in there and harassed the waitresses. Otherwise, nobody, you don't really see anybody. Right, it's a large orange construction barrel. Indiana doesn't have tumbleweeds. Right. I didn't think about that. Right? Hey, what's happening? How's it going in the flat world out there? Do chicken Crispos qualify as a roller wiener? Ooh, are they round and sold on rollers? That's, like taquitos, those count because they're in there too. But I don't know what a Crispito is. That the same kind of thing? I've never seen that before. Paul Vines, good afternoon. Super Trooper free. What's going on? I've heard that if you have 3 accents on your DAC, that you might as well find a new position. How true is that? It depends on the company. I mean, it just depends on what they are and the company. I don't think that a deer hit is considered an accident, especially in your DAC. Are they reporting it? What are they reporting to DAC about it? I mean, that's the thing. Do you have a copy of your DAC? I don't think a deer should be an accident if you hit it in the road. Now, if you drive in the woods, it's another story. If you're going after it, oh, yeah, I missed you here, but I'm going to get you now. Also, I got my first haircut before mine since January. So nice to be cleaning it. I know. They only take appointments here, so at the moment. A Schneider egg, let me, George. That's what I've always called them, as Schneider eggs. So, yeah, and they start out little, right, and then they get bigger through the year. George Costanza and multi-axle heavy haul combined transport does the salary due to issues with the loads. I think it's like $2,000. That's not bad because you're not going to get any miles. So, and you have to sit so much because of all these hours. That's actually a pretty good idea. But I think drivers that work a lot, that drive a lot of miles, would just potentially see it as a problem unless they got it on their time off as well. Memorial Day, remember our fallen. Yes, people that died for our freedoms. That's what today's all about. Not about cheeseburgers. Matt, if you hit anything in a lane of travel or leave debris or a dead deer in a lane of travel, it's an accident. If no debris, it's not reportable. That's insurance standard. Really? Well, should you drag the deer off the side of the road? No trucking company should count a deer as an accident. They tell you to hit the deer. We do mostly food, meat plants, greenhouses, Coke and Pepsi. That's what I thought, right? And Labatt's, nice, and Molson. Our industrial customers are still closed. What do you do at a greenhouse to keep the place cool? What's CO2 do at a greenhouse? Some of the idiots think they could fight the virus with their guns. All right, that's pretty good. If you see them, shoot one. I totally agree. That's not a bad idea, and that's what we do in America Alpha. We could fight it with that too. David, usually a former employer will only verify a few things when asked for employment. Usually they do not mention performance like accidents. Well, if it's on your DAC, they're going to get a copy of it. And this kind of stuff, if there's something on the roadway and you hit it, I mean, come on. Does Santa Claus run an e-log when he is out making deliveries? Yes, of course, because he is beyond the short haul exemption. So certainly. Iron Skillet and Amarillo is open and serving 5-star meals. Good. Let's get these places open back up. They should have just stayed open instead of arrest us. The human condition always assesses risk, and we adjust accordingly. It's never about safety, or we'd never do anything. I know. But how many people, as soon as you say anything, they're fighting immediately. We can't go back out. There's a virus out there. Well, okay, 2% at the worst. 2% of people die. I mean, on Memorial Day, right, we can go back to all the videos. Everybody's seen the films of everybody running up in Normandy, right? Almost everybody thought when they run up there, they were going to die. I'm sure. That's what I would have thought. Oh my gosh. They just see everybody fall. They figure they're going to die, and they kept going. And now today, hardly anybody dies, and everybody's like, we got to stay inside. It's just crazy. Too many people with hair buns in safe spaces. That's what's changed in the country. It's just crazy. Where are all the people to, get the place going? They're too concerned with getting sued by the former employee. Is this a friendly separation? Yeah, that's normally you're right. Companies don't usually say anything because of lawsuits. They just verify dates. This person worked here until here. They generally don't go into anything because immediately they can have a problem. So I'm very surprised. They got like a vendetta going on there. Last week at Schneider, moving up to Millis. All right, no more Schneider eggs for you. What prompted that move over there? Did you only get 3 accidents on your DAC? You're considered one of the safest drivers at Western Express. If you go into Western Express with 3 accidents, they make you the CEO. Oh, our new CEO is here. You get a new a close place to park and everything. If they send info, David, that keeps you from getting a job, they do not send info on the company letterhead. It shows they are sketchy. Well, I mean, I get 50-50 reports back from Warner. Goes on deck as non-preventable. Non-preventable shouldn't be a problem. Well, Bill, haircuts are a drag. I know I'm saving a ton of money on haircuts, even though half a head of hair is half price at Haircut Corner here in Lafayette. Oh, I'll move that right here. Deer, I'll take sponsorships from them as well. Deer are one of the things we don't usually pick up on our accelerometer reports. They usually have about the same amount of force as a pothole. That's not nice for the deer. But yeah, if you're still driving, usually you don't stop, so explain everything to the new employer and ask them to get the info from your former employer. If they do not, that says it all. I'm surprised that Creed is saying anything about you hitting a deer. They're not a drag if you have that is cut off on the end of my sheet there, which may be good. Company distant line. Oh, yikes, I'm off on that. How many drivers buzzed their hair off waiting? I don't know. I don't know if people would chance that one. Alexander, CO2 in a greenhouse makes the building hotter and plants do better in a CO2. Oh, so they do like global warming inside the greenhouse. Oh, all right. That's why when you walk into a greenhouse, you pass out. Got it. CO2 stimulates growth and helps the crops to get ripe a little quicker for harvesting. All right. That makes sense. Sense. Hit it, don't swerve, Rhino. That's company policy. Almost every place, everybody that sends a driver manual always says, do not swerve, hit the deer. So then you're actually following company policy. Western takes anyone and everyone. I know I've only had a couple of people write to me, and I tell them to go to Western, and then they write back a couple of days later, they go, Western turned me down. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. Are you still in prison right now? I'd say that's not the only reason. I always thought of Schneider eggs hatch in little bitty Schneider trucks. Like that. Yeah, like the movie on Alien. Oh, nice. I have 2 on your deck. Both are considered preventable. Call the incidents on there as well. My rehire eligibility is review required. Meaning it depends how desperate they are. Deer are beautiful, I know. Flip-flop, I saw 2 drivers down in Fort Myers washing their trucks at the fuel stop in the span of 15 minutes. One was tossing the whole bucket of water. I see that all the time. I don't know what people are doing. They take the squeegee, and then you wonder why you can't, your windshield is all scratched up. And they just squeegee their whole truck off. Okay, that's not a truck wash. Do not wash your truck there. They call it Schneider egg because when you crack it open, a dirt bag inside of it. Oh, that gets household goods miles. I was at school thinking my hair wouldn't be long enough for the drug testing. Now I've got too much. I know. Now, why don't they do drug testing now? If you wear it, make it a parrot. Always make it a parrot if you're wearing it. That's the blue parrot, the finest headset in the world. That's what I've heard. Get it? Heard. From the Stan Vet, well said, Mark. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If workers were considered essential workers, Michigan wouldn't be under 9 feet of water. Yes, well, if those workers, okay, can it be right? Yeah, look, people that always say they're essential, if anything, they shouldn't separate people by essential, but essential people would be the ones at home. It's not the ones out working. If there's some kind of huge problem, they don't send all the essential people out and keep non-essential people at home. It's reversed. So that would be the case. But everybody needs a job as an essential worker. It's not up to the government to decide that. Christina, I've not cut my hair since 2008. It's to your knees. Wow. Crystal Gale going on. That is super great. That's great. What are the minimum qualifications to be a trainer at Western Express? There aren't any, as far as I know. We do complimentary accident reconstruction. Oh, nice. For customers from acceleration data. But anything that's not four-wheeler usually doesn't show the deer. Yeah, you wouldn't know what they hit. Just the accelerometer information. They would have to have a dash cam for that. My barber has a speakeasy shop at an undisclosed location. There have been a lot of people doing that. If you look around, there are ads for people that, where you can still get this kind of stuff done. If I get my own roller wieners, do I pay extra for the short hair? No. Everything is included. Does anyone recall a TV spot back in the 80s? Waste Management showed their driver 3 million miles that motivated to learn tractor trailer. No. Somebody drove 3 million miles in a Waste Management truck? That's pretty impressive. I can't imagine how many miles they get a day. Not that many. Around here, there's one every 10 feet, so you wouldn't get that many miles. George Costanza, I like Werner, but deceiving a company to keep me from leaving, yes, is garbage. I agree. Crete reviewed them with me. I explained it all, and they said they'll send it to safety. Wow. Wow, that's incredible. I'd be all over them. I mean, if you could do it, get a lawyer to send Werner a letter if you don't get this job. And that may cost you a couple $100 to get a lawyer letter, but that'd be well worth it if you had it. to say my client, you are ruining my client's reputation, that kind of thing. Some lawyer would write that up and send it off to him. Well worth it. What are some good hourly trucking jobs in Indiana? Well, I used to think yellow. I used to tell people yellow, but maybe not. Maybe ABF now, something like that. But because yellow's missing their payments, their health insurance is suspended until they make their payment. So that is not great. Maybe ABF. I guess Hogan might have some hourly jobs. They're around. Oh, Kroger. Kroger's one that pays hourly plus overtime. The mail is in Indianapolis. There's a lot of mail companies down there at $31 an hour I've seen. Let's see, who did I see this week? To Transforce, of all things, a temp service, has a full-time job, $27 an hour, home every day, overtime past 40, 50 to 60 hours a week. So that's $1,600 a week, and home every day. No touch. It's a double drop and hook, come back. That's what the ad says. So there's that. It's easy to find these kind of things. No problem. Trucking jargon, I'm sitting in Michigan myself. All right, everyone is essential. I know. Who are they saying, oh, essential, not essential? What does the government have to say about that? Good retirement benefit should a company offer, you think, Mark, in your experience? Well, whatever they give you, take it. Just take the match. Just take them, whatever the match is. A pension's better. Take the match. You probably won't get the pension, though. Yeah, Alexandra, let's, since you said that, let's get a good cat here. How about that? Right. Time for a cat to say hello. As always, it's always time for a cat to say hello. And then I get my thing. So said we must go underground for a haircut. I know, Ryan. What is the story with that? Why do we have to go, hey man, you got to get a secret handshake and stuff like that to get a haircut? Here's $4, or you got to bribe people, like call the cops. The Texas had a sting for that. That's ridiculous. George Costanza, thanks for the show. And Jerry Holiday, go buy some roller wieners. I appreciate that. And I will. Thank you very much. And I hope you get that cleared up. So let me know what happens. Just use one of those old wood salad bowls like the old days, Ryan. Oh, yikes. YRC was taking deductions for the insurance, too. It should be fraud. I thought about that, too, Misty. And I don't know. What I thought about was, what about the money the drivers put in? But from what I understand, right, I think the insurance is free to them. So, but yeah, if any deductions or whatever they took, and then they're not paying the payment, are you kidding me? I mean, and their stock is way down. They may be ahead of Roadrunner, because their stock was 208 last week, Roadrunner. It's 223 now. They're making the big comeback. So they're actually doing better than Roadrunner, which really says something. If YRC goes down, they said it's close to 10,000 drivers between them and Holland and a few other companies that are part of their group there. That's a real problem. Alexander, I know. That's a nice furry cat. I wish my cat was all furry like that. People used to make fun of me for cutting your own hair. Who's laughing now? Exactly. Now you're like, all right. Now who's laughing about the Flowbee? Texas Trader checking in late, so we'll take your Gracie demerits. When she wakes up, she'll be happy to give them to you. I got to bring your kitty and the best pal up to Salt Lake to work with me. Yeah, right. Don't leave the cat anywhere. Wherever you go, the cat goes with you. Absolutely. How is everybody's rates? Well, I have some rate information here. DAT says vans are $1.55. Flats are $1.86 and reefers are $1.97. So, because there's a 17.5% reduction in available trucks on the boards. That's what DAT says. What are you people seeing that are getting rates? You people shouldn't get a haircut anyway. I may just let it go. Who knows? I'll save my $750 a year from my single haircut I used to get. This receiver's a Kroger sister company. It is just as sorry on how they treat drivers. This place makes you sign that we will all leave after 30 minutes. Nice. You sit there all day. Oh, by the way, you have to leave immediately. And then Kroger is the most expensive grocery store around. So, but Kroger does take drivers. They're in Shelbyville, down 74. Near the Honda plant, down halfway between Indianapolis and Cincinnati. So, but the drivers there are hourly. I assume they don't wait. Your product placement on your Sunday rants are great. Wishful thinking. Hey, you never know. I'm always looking for, something to trade up to. I wanted a Jaguar, really. There's just no Jaguar dealer in town here. So I found a few of them around the country. I was looking for like an XE diesel, but there isn't one around. So, but I always go out and look at cars on Sunday anyway. Probably wouldn't be a Cadillac. Would not be my first choice for a car, though. Just out there looking. They had an Escalade, for those interested, for $97,000. So that was pretty nice. I'm too cheap to pay for a haircut. I've been buzzing my hair off for 20 years now. Really? Cash is king. Oh, that's, I'm not doing that. All right, I go in for my yearly, sometimes twice a year haircut. Your wife cuts your hair, Kenneth? I hope she doesn't get thrown in jail. She could be. Is she charging you for that? She has a license? Does she have a cosmetology license? Did she go to the government? Oh, Lord, government, please, I pray that the crown give me permission to cut hair. Did she do that? If not, she's got a problem. Buzzing and shaving your head saves time and money. It does. Not that much money. It's $7.50 to get a haircut because I half a head of hair. How do you get a copy of your face report, like a DAC report? You go to DAC. You can look it up. Get a copy of my DAC report. I can't think of off the top of my hair, but yeah, you can get it free. Gotta love the buzz cut. Yes, my mom used to do that when I was a kid. That way, she would save money. She did that to save money. She told me, well, if you get this, you don't have to get as many haircuts. So. I used to haul reefer for Kroger Alexander through USX. I left because my dispatcher was a homophobe. That's not great. They shouldn't care anything other than getting you miles because that makes the company money. So maybe they could leave their personal view out of it. 97,000 is entry level. This was a platinum Escalade, 2020 Escalade. And he did have a couple that were less, but the one I happened to stop at was $97,000. So he had ones in the mid-70s also, so I guess those are a little more reasonable. I have a cosmetology license. I'm considering cutting hair at the truck stops. When you take a 10-hour break. All right, as long as you're licensed. But if it's not allowed or something, somebody is going to call you in. What do I think about J&H Trucking? Never heard of it. Where are they? Higher Right. That's it, Higher Right. Have a great day, drivers. Got to take the wife out for brunch at the Speakeasy, right? Do the special knock. And while you're there, I'll be reporting you, of course, now that I know that. And it's my duty as a citizen to report other citizens who don't comply with governmental orders. George Costanza, not the body shame, but why do 400 truckers wear sleeveless shirts, 400-pound truckers? We need to make a channel for fat trucker pictures. Well, look, I think this. No matter how big you are as a driver, you ought to have a shirt on with sleeves, men. Right, you should have a shirt on with sleeves. It just, nobody wants to see your big hairy armpit. You're at work. That's what I've always thought. You're at work, and I know people wear shorts or whatever, but I think you should wear long pants. If anybody sees me out ever, I will have a shirt with sleeves on and long pants. I promise you that. Because I'm at work. My wife is charging me to cut my hair. I pay for it every single day. Oh, that may be over there, right? Coffee table book. Okay, you get a deck report from Higher Right. Yeah, and you can go on there and say, I want my deck report, fill out information, and they send it to you. I think you can do it online, too. But anyway, you get a free copy of it, and you can look at it right away. And in Indiana, you can get a free copy of your MVR online. Now, I don't know how each state works, so you may want to look at that, too, to see what they put on there. But in Indiana, you can go on anytime you want and get a free copy of your driving report, which is pretty nice. You can just pull it right up on there. 2 minutes, you got it. They've done that for years here in Indiana. I guess some states charge for that, and you have to go in. One of the few things they do good in Indiana is that. I can go on anytime and look at that. And you should look at it every once in a while, make sure it's correct. Does it have a bedroom and a shower? For $97,000, it needs to. And it's a Cadillac. I mean, it's a Suburban. And the grill on it was plastic. I always look at them and stuff. I mean, come on. And, it's just a Suburban with a Cadillac stuff on it. I don't know. They're out of Wichita, Kansas. All right. Does anybody know anything about that place? What are your concerns about it? Make sure you get one on my good side, the George Costanza. 97 for a Jam product. I'm waiting for the punchline. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, really? General Motors charging me, because tax is 7% here. You're over $100,000 for that thing in Indiana. That's a lot of money for basically a Suburban. I think that's a lot of money for what you're getting. For that, I'd probably go get a Range Rover for that, honestly. I'd go get a Land Rover, Range Rover for that, for $100,000. I wear long sleeves year round. I'm very sensitive to sunlight. That's the other thing, too. I'm in sleeves generally because of the sun. But I think certainly men, should wear at least a t-shirt, a sleeved shirt. At least some kind of t-shirt. Nobody wants you walking around like, you're at the beach, especially if you're at work. You're at work. The best place to get a haircut in West Suburban Chicagoland is Vito's. Hey, come on in. 64 and Roy Avenue on North Avenue. Got it. 64 is North Avenue. I've been there with their bobtail and a small lot with a C-store. How much is a haircut in West Chicago? Western Suburban Chicago. Y'all wear pants or drive? Well, no, wait a minute. I said out, right? What you wear when you're driving, that's okay. Governor's orders are just orders. They're not the law. I agree. I don't mind the government making recommendations. The government says, this is the best information that we have today, and here's what we recommend. We recommend you wear a mask, you stay apart, and, all this kind of stuff. But they don't get to say, look, Walmart can stay open, but this smaller store that sells clothes, you have to close. You have to close up. No. You are a small grocery store, you close. But Target, they get to stay open. No. They make a recommendation, and you do it or not. And then if you feel that it's not safe for you to go out for whatever reason, either you don't feel safe or you have a bunch of diseases, whatever, you stay home. You. But you don't take other people's freedoms away. And yes, that may make it less safe outside than it could be. And yes, more people will die. I agree. That could happen. That will happen. But that's part of freedom. It really is. And until people are willing to put freedom above themselves, then we're not going to be free. We're just going to have this, okay? So if you ever hear, I'm in the hospital or whatever, do not take your freedom away so that I get out of the hospital. Don't do it, right? I'm willing to die for freedom. I am. I said it right here. So if they say, well, Mark can live if everybody stays in the house. No. You all go out of your house. I don't want that on me. Willing to go for freedom. I sent a driver in Oklahoma yesterday, had socks and sandals and a giant white cowboy hat. Does this guy, he would look like a tourist. It'd be like an American tourist, like Borat over here. Remember that show? That was pretty good. What up, Mark? Heading to Hutchin, Texas in Arkansas. And you're now in Arkansas, all right? Got to head out. Fleet Nav Systems. Have a great day and enjoy your holiday. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. on the live show for the speed round. It's going to be great. It's a very informative show. I learned a lot about geotabs, so they take calls, everything. Head on over there, all right? So pretty good. I've tried to be in the chat most of the days I can get in there. Squirrel. Just left the worst pilot in the U.S. In Aurora, had the driver behind the guy in the fuel pump ask me if I was going to leave. Then the guy at fuel pump came and started pumping. Great. That's a driver problem, but I think truck stops should do more to get people out. I've seen these signs, 10 minutes, 8 minutes, but so what? Those signs are to shame drivers out. Drivers don't care. Drivers that would sit there and block everybody don't care that there's a sign. They don't care. Let's see here. Tried to take pictures of the truck and he tried to run me over. Oh, that's pretty good. That's worth, catching on camera and calling the police. Really? Can I explain the trucker exemption law? I don't exactly know what the trucker exemption law is that you're talking about. Trucker exemption. The new Chevy Tahoes are and look a lot better. Look, for $97,000, you weren't getting anything, I don't think, in there. Maybe cooled seats in the back, but that you couldn't get in a Suburban. It's very little step up. It's 6.2 V8, same engine, same transmission, same four-wheel drive, everything. 22-inch tires on it. Waste management truck was a semi in that spot. Oh, okay. I was thinking these guys that pick up the dumpsters, there's no way they do 3 million miles in their whole career. So it's like long distance garbage hauling, which sounds like the name of a great band, by the way. Cash is King. I wear my boots and shorts with my cowboy hat in the summertime. No, you got that 10-gallon hat, right? I went through that phase years ago. A Swift Mentor shirt. Oh, that'd be good. I'm sticking with the sleeveless flannels. You would look good and stay warm. So that's pretty good. Sun's out, guns out. At work, like I'm saying at work, t-shirt, okay? Second Amendment gives you the right to bear arms. Now, I agree. You do have the right to it. Unless the store prohibits you from coming in the store, that's different. Private property. Flip-flops and trucking should be a crime. Why anybody wants their toes out or their feet out walking around the truck stop knowing what's on the truck stop? Oh, my gosh. Yuck. I wear a self-imposed uniform of company tee and long pants, just trying to be professional. Yeah, I'm not saying people have to come to work in a tuxedo because people, well, Mark, should people have a suit on? No, okay? You're not working that kind of job. But a tank top, and shorts, and usually it's never a new tank top. Did you notice that? People that wear a tank top, it's usually not new. It's some old tank top, okay? Clean clothes, shirt, pants, that's all. That's it. I love the sun. I wear white beaters and tank tops in the summer. I'm just saying, we're at work. That's my opinion of it. I wouldn't force it on you, but it is my opinion that you look better in a shirt with sleeves. And remember the old JB Job Hunt uniforms? JB Hunt or Job Hunt? Did you hear Hertz filed bankruptcy? I did. The very first rental cars were Model Ts. They have been around that long. I know. And they were selling off some Z06 Corvettes over the weekend. So I checked those out online. Right? It's not like I went and looked at one or anything. And the price was just the price of a used car. It wasn't any kind of good deal. So, and I got to believe everybody that drove that car was really hard on it. Summers are too hot. I could seriously live in Alaska, Alexander. No, thank you. I will take the hot summer because of air conditioning over the cold winter of Alaska. I like when the ladies compliment me on my crazy horror t-shirts. Nice conversation starters with cashier. That's true, too. You can get some clever, sayings on the t-shirts or whatever. Absolutely. Nothing, I've seen people wear, beer-related ones and, illegal drug-related ones. So that kind of thing just doesn't give you the right, the right thing out there. But otherwise, yeah. The world is unsafe. Buy a gun and be proud to be American. I agree. It is unsafe out there. You might die from a virus. You might die from a car accident. You might die from a lot of things. But we can't impose some kind of restriction on people's freedoms because of that. We can't. Too many people died so that we're free, and then we just voluntarily lock ourselves in a house. Like, did the Constitution just somehow take a break in the last couple months or something? Or did I not read the right to peaceably assemble shall not be infringed? Did I not see that in there? Did I miss that someplace? I don't know. All the people that were in the military, they're all hiding in their houses because so many people were. I mean, do you not take an oath to defend the Constitution, right? Defend and protect it, including with your life. Including your life. And what happens when you get out of the military? Oh, Constitution, let's tear that up. Who cares about that? Hot day in Jackson, Tennessee. All right. It's nice here, too. I think we're done with the snow for the year in Indiana. I can say that. Is any company paying truckers hazard pay? Yeah, some paying a few cents a mile. Some gave drivers a bonus, $500. JB Hunt did that. So, yeah, some of them are doing that. Yep. Put some questions in there for the lightning round. I know it's always exciting. You never know what lightning round questions you're going to get. And the prizes are amazing. Amazing. They gave away several new cars already on the show. It's really, really awesome. So, no parking signs. They have those. Sometimes about running loads with no logbook. Oh, okay. So, if you're on an emergency load, which somebody wrote in yesterday that they got a load of Arby's sauce packets, and it's considered an emergency load. They didn't have to run their logbook on it. I love it. Arby's sauce packets. So, but any load that is in with the emergency, so food, the medical supplies, masks, you are not required to run a logbook on those loads through June 14th at the moment. In fact, all of 390 to 399 FMCSA regulations, almost all of them are exempt. So you don't get a ticket for a headlight, you get a low tire, all those things are exempt. Okay, so and that's up to your company if you're a company driver as well. So owner-operators could do whatever they wanted, of course, but company drivers, if your company allows it, you can just pick the load up in, Long Beach and head all the way over to Georgia with it. No problem. Drive it straight through. Not illegal, nothing illegal about it. And you could make some extra money that way. Yep. I think they meant transportation exemption on pay. Yeah, that's been since 1938, right? Hazard pay should be paid anytime you have to share roads with the general public. Yeah, why is this more hazardous than any other time? If anything, it was less hazardous. There were less people on the road until right now, So right now is when it comes up. For $97,000, I better jump up and kiss you. Look, the salesman might do it if you actually bought it. If he actually gets somebody in a GM dealer to throw it on $100,000. If I could find some Three Stooges ties, I'd wear them on the road. That'd be pretty good, Charles. And I bet if you type Three Stooges tie in, you'd probably find one. Alexander, for $97,000, I better get an acre, 2-bedroom, 2-bath house, and a shed. I know. I was thinking that too. That's the price of a house around here, just out of town. You can get a whole house for that. But I guess this thing's nice enough you could live in it. It's got cooled seats and everything. Yeah. For $97,000, better of an ATM and a hooker. Yeah, exactly. It better have something, because a lot of the outside of it, which I thought would be real chrome, was plastic. Very disappointing. I'd love to see someone wearing a 3-piece suit driving a truck. That'd be goofy. I don't think you'd fit in. Although some videos and stuff that show the 50s and 60s, they did have a tie on. A button-down shirt and a tie. That would seem to be like the standard kind of thing. If I'm spending the kind of money I'm buying a Lincoln Continental, my choice, oh, you can get a Lincoln for a lot less than that. 60, 65, 70 for reserve. Continental, you could do that. Even the one with the suicide doors, the limited edition one, was only 90 or something like that. Yeah. Guarantee me a teal GP truck and I'll wear a 3-piece suit. That's true. I wish I could guarantee that, but they're only here. I don't ever see them, so can't guarantee the truck. They do guarantee you $1,000 a week, so there's that at least, which might help now. Although from the drivers that are there, tell me they're still running. Nobody's getting the guarantee because they're making it. The heady trucker, that's hilarious. Unfortunately, the best we can do is sky blue. Yeah, close enough. Just imagine Dumb and Dumber suit, hat, and canes. That's how you would look. Wear my flip-flops when I'm driving, but I'm 99% terminal to terminal. If I have to go to D.C., then I throw in some sneakers. Can't stand wearing socks. You just go the sockless sneaker route. Probably if you go into a D.C. or a building, though, they require shoes, don't they? Almost every place says shoes. Anyone who would trade liberty for safety deserves neither. I know, but yet here we are. Here we are with everybody throwing confetti up, and it turns out that's the Constitution. The right to peaceably assemble shall not be infringed. If you want to wear something that's a conversation, start with a Speedo. Oh, who says I don't? But people just can't see it. It's under your pants. Finally just got a call from recruiter to get my paperwork after 12 hours from receiver. I hope you got 12 hours of pay. That's all I can say. You could get a whole break sitting there, theoretically, right? Do they have food at least? I mean, come on. I'd love to see Gracie's Sierra England Tribute Tribunk Mentor Trainer uniform. Look, good luck putting a cat in a uniform. I'll tell you that. Paid $65,000 for a fully loaded Ram Laramie. $97,000 steep for GM. Yes. I think I'd pay $97,000 for a Corvette. I know. That's a lot of money. That's what I'm saying. I saw that sticker and I'm like, holy mackerel. Oh, the other thing about it, it's 42% U.S. content and 43% non-U.S., which I was really disappointed about. It had less content from this country than outside. I consider that an import. And I think that's how it works with DOT as well, or whoever regulates that. It has to be at least 50% U.S. content to not be considered an import. But I considered an import. For $97,000, you can't buy parts here? Come on. Speedo and a top hat. Well, exactly. That's all you need to walk into a place. Who's going to say anything to you? That's the thing. Well, Kenneth is getting $100 a week during Coronathon. That's nice money. So how long are they going to do that? When are they going to decide that's over? Money well spent on the Laramie. That's not a terrible price for that, right? You can't stand wearing a hat but always sporting a bandana. Hey, you can get one with the company logo on it, though. Kitty Ling, hello from Texas. We've run a few no-clock loads, Rhino, but the way they have it set up, it's not really any better than just to run run the log. Yeah, it just depends on the load you have, right? But, I mean, if the load, you can go straight through over my hours and get it there and get it delivered. You could theoretically make more money. Just depends on the load. I mean, those Arby sauce packets, they got to go, right? They got to be delivered. I couldn't believe that, Arby sauce packets. My company is not using the exemption. I'm pulling dedicated for Tyson. Okay, so it wouldn't make any difference for you, I guess. If you're not the Tyson driver, I guess you're not getting the $500 that Tyson is giving out. Chef Matt, refusal to enforce the logbook is a huge attack on trucking. A blatant attempt to destroy the entire industry. Well, if it's about safety, it's about safety. So if they say, well, it's not safe to drive over 11 hours, and then unless you're hauling Arby's packets, then you can drive as far as you want. That proves the whole thing is just a big sham. The whole logbook thing is just a sham. Why don't drivers have a union to stop the abuse for better pay? That's a good question. Why do drivers tolerate the bad pay? I ask myself that all the time and have no answer to it. I don't understand it. That'd be a very easy way for drivers to get better pay at a company, wouldn't it? I cannot imagine a union driver that sits at a dock for 4 hours and doesn't get any money. I just don't see that happening because no union would allow that. And if they did, you should throw that union out. So I agree. Cash is King Trucking. Well, remember for that $97,000, you're getting transportation. You can live in your car, but you can't drive your house. No, that's a very good way to put it. You know, you should be a Cadillac salesman because that's very good. Say, hey, if you lose your job, but you can still live in this car and take it to work. Have they said anything about opening back the border? This is the longest I've gone without seeing the other half of my family. Canadian tanker yanker. Well, if your other family is here, well, I guess since you don't bring loads across, you can't go across. So, no, they said that the borders were still closed to, regular travel. So, I actually read that, about a week ago? But, no, they haven't said anything. Can't you fly here? Maybe not. DOT inspected my logs and violated me for driving past my 11. He told me to sign till I told him we haul produce and extended the waiver. Didn't sign. Do still get points. You shouldn't, because you didn't violate. And what you'll need to do is pull it, right? See if you get points, and then challenge it. There's a way in there to challenge it. Send that in, do a data queue challenge, that's called, on your DAC, and then you shouldn't have any problems. And plus, your company, if you're a company driver, your company should help you with that side of it. If not, then you can go on there. If you're an OIDA member, they'll help you with it. I see new Heartland Express sign up at Love's. Pay increased to $54.50 and detention pay after 1 hour. Weren't they way lower? Yeah, but as they bought Millis, maybe they had to. Maybe they're going to take the Millis side of it and bring their pay up. That'd be really great. That'd be really good. Josh, with a Speedo on a top hat, I could ask if you are the stripper. Oh, all right. Who are you here to arrest? Last time I was at Vito's, $23, 6 years ago. But you get the full treatment. What does that exactly mean? And at holidays, you get to pour yourself some brandy. Wow. What exactly is the full treatment at a barbershop? I don't know if I want to ask about that. Alexander, you paid $23,000 for a Buick. I didn't know you were 93 years old. Have you ever heard of Bowerman Trucking? Really nice equipment. More nicer than GP Transco. Oh, more nicer. What kind of equipment is more nicer? I will say there are probably companies with better trucks, like Western Distribution. So they have super nice trucks there. They just don't pay anything. So, well, what kind of equipment is better than GP Transco? I like Cascadias personally. If it means extra cash, I'll take it. If you're paying $97,000, how do you finance that? Oh, easy. No, 6-7 years, 84 months at 0%, right? What, $1,400 a month? So 84 months at 0%, $1,400, bingo. 13 something a month, but you got a car. Easy peasy. Mark, a bandana with my company logo on it will make a great fuse for a Molotov cocktail. Oh, they would love seeing that. If they ever saw you coming with that, you'd be driver of the month. You get to park up front and everything. If it was about safety, nobody would drive because we have all around 40,000 people dying each year. Exactly. That's the other thing. We should ban cars until we can ensure that there'll be no more deaths. Nobody goes anywhere in a car. That way there's no car deaths. Easy. That just saved 40,000 people. Isn't that worth giving all your freedom up? Your freedom to travel between states, as the Supreme Court has ruled, is allowed. Mary Kay drivers used to have pink uniforms and wore ties when working many, many moons ago. I've only seen the trucks. I don't think I've ever seen the driver. I remember seeing the lavender trucks out there. And I haven't seen their trucks anymore. Maybe they don't even have their own drivers. They used to have like a pink over lavender truck, which would be okay with me as long as they give me a paycheck, right? So, fortunately, I'm not passing close by the Roller Wiener Hall of Fame and Trucking Answers World International Headquarters. That's too bad. You need to get a load going that way. I'll rock a pink suit to make the old timers mad. Yeah, it would be weird. Now, it makes sense why logbooks are referred to as comic books, Chef Matt. Well, if it's safety, it's safety. You can't say, oh, right now it's not safety. It's safe still. No, that means that they're okay with it being unsafe as long as people get their Arby sauce. I'll be the last weekend of August back home again. Wow. If Arby sauce is essential, horsey sauce included. I guess all the different sauces should be included, I would assume. If you get the 97,000 Escalade at 0% for 84 months, it's $1,150. Okay. Bingo, $1,150. There's your payment. No problem. The only people who want more hours are the ones who make bad pay. Take 10 naps a day and ones who don't plan their route. The weather and traffic. Exactly. I'm never one that wants to increase the hours to make more pay. Now at this point, when you don't have hours of service at all, you could theoretically make more pay because you could just drive until you drop dead. But I'd rather make more for the hours I already work. I think that's a way better plan. Who wants to work 100 hours a week for the rest of their life? When they'll die at 47, of course. Ryan, the happy ending haircut. I know. That's. I'm just saying. What exactly is a full service haircut? Now you can have this. You can have the full service. I don't know. George H.W. Bush is back. He lost coverage in northern Michigan. You'd think they would have better phones for the president, really. Sad, kind of satellite link up. I mean, you need to go get a haircut now. Nobody's getting a haircut anymore. We should all barbecue at Mark's house. That'd be great. Let's do it. Full treatment here at the Korean Mafia comes with a happy ending. That's what I'm saying. Full treatment haircut. $23. You better get product at the end. I'll say that. I got pulled over by the DOT. In Texas, he wanted to see your log. I told him my company told me to shut it off because I'm hauling essential goods. He told me good answer. Oh, that's a pretty good log inspection too, right? Good answer. What were you hauling, by the way? Just sent a Heartland Express picture, 55.5 cents a mile. That's much better, isn't it? I'm not sure I want a guy named Vito giving me a... Yeah. He goes, hey, it's full service. You paid for it, you're getting it. So sit down and shut up, he goes. Sat down at a restaurant last night, the Highway Freak, at the truck stop in Clayton. Nice. As a bonus, there were wieners on the roller. Isn't that great? We're finally getting back to the way it should have been to start with. We have a right to those wieners. The heady trucker, the favorite thing about over the road is that even the largest truck stop in the world still doesn't have any parking after 6. Even way in the back where you used to have to get a ride, I don't know if they do the shuttle still. They used to run a shuttle through that place. Now that COVID panic is dying down, are we truckers still heroes? No. The society views us as lonely creeps again. We're getting back to the creep stage again. We're creeping back over to the creep stage. The Hearn family and trucking blogs. Volvos are a smoother ride than Cascadia. Volvo is the Cadillac of the semi. Well, I wouldn't say it's the Cadillac of the semi. They do give you a nice ride. I wouldn't compare anything super nice to a Cadillac necessarily, I think. But yeah, Volvos give you a good ride. But I like a Cascadia better. Mechanics say they're easier to work on. That should keep you on the road more. And I think the dash is set up good. Volvo gives a better ride. It shifts better. If I don't have to pay for it, then I guess Volvo would be my choice. Probably Western Star would be my choice. Let's go to Lake of the Ozarks. All right, let's go. The Indy 500, that's what I was referring to. What kind of Hoosiers are you anyway? Oh, haircuts and barbecue. Right, I gave myself a haircut. Yikes. People were giving themselves haircuts. We're putting people out of work. That's what people always tell me. A loaded LTE Suburban is close to $90,000. For 10 grand then, are you getting any more in the Cadillac? Does it have heated and cooled rear seats and stuff like that? If it is, then what's the point of getting the Caddy? It's exactly the same vehicle. My Cascadia at 2020 there at Air Liquide is my first Freightliner and first automatic. It pulls 140,000 pounds daily. Wow. I must say I was pretty much expecting the worst, but quite impressed. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had too many problems with mine. My great uncle used to sell Buicks for 40 years. I get a family discount. Oh, okay, Alexander, right. So, and he probably still likes them if he's still alive. So, otherwise, I mean, unless you're 93, there's really no reason to have a Buick. Full service is ear, hair wax, and nose wax. Wow, that's really full service at the barbershop. Kenneth P., forget paying $97,000. You just paid $1,750. To have my brakes repaired and transmission on my 2004. Hopefully it'll get me another 10 years. I hope. They have a shuttle. Yeah, they used to have a shuttle. The World's Truck Stop used to have a shuttle, at least during the day. Kind of like the Disney shuttle, if you've ever been down there, or a large theme park where it drives around. It's just got those seats and you kind of just jump on it and take you back up to the building. Yeah, they did. I remember getting on it. Who would drive from Long Beach to Georgia like that? Almost sounds like a superhuman. I don't know. Just the first things that came to me, I can't imagine anybody actually doing it. But I know that it's something that could be possible. That's what I'm saying. Bill, the water pump on my van is leaking, so I know what I will be doing tomorrow. That sounds like a lot of fun. Taking it to the dealer and seeing when it can be fixed. Is that what you're saying? What is the next series of Crap Company of the Week? We don't do Crap Company of the Week here anymore. If you have to ask, you can't afford it. That's correct, too. But I like to look at the sticker anyway. Bring back the shave and the haircut for 2 bits. I never got one for 2 bits, certainly. Your 90-year-old father always sings that old jingle. He might have got one for 2 bits. When I started paying for them, I don't know what they were, $5 or $6. When I had to pay for them myself, maybe as a kid, they were a couple of bucks. I don't know. I didn't pay for them for the longest time. I have less maintenance downtimes and repairs on my Freightliner than any Pete or Kenworth I've ever owned. Some of our drivers did have problems. We bought a bunch of them in 18 and 19, these new Cascadias, and some had a lot of problems. Mine didn't. It was like 50-50. Some were in the shop all the time, And then some have run pretty good most of the time. So only had a few times that it's gone back in. So it just seems to be, a crapshoot. The Ultimate Cadillac is a restored 65 Coupe de Ville. I don't know if I'd want to daily drive that kind of thing. Your Black Kitty swoosh, says Heidi Gracie. Swoosh. I don't know if I have a swoosh. Here, we've got a tortie. How about that? Oh, they're so cute. Tortoise shells. That one's got that line right down the middle. How about that? That's really something. What about this driver, too? A driver sent this in, since I have these up here. And I'm looking for it. And I've lost it. Oh, it's right. This is a good show, Mark. We watch you looking for things. I don't know. Right here. Duh. Okay. What do you think about this? Driver sent this to me. Now, this was actually on CDL Live, too, but the driver sent these pictures to me. Look at that. How'd you like to be driving on the road and see that? That was an astute viewer sent those in to me. And they said the police investigated, and they said it was probably a turnip. Now, I will say this, that turnips aren't good for much, but I certainly wouldn't throw one at a driver. But look at that. A turnip. Has anybody ever had anything thrown through their truck like that? Like a turnip? There was another picture which was not sent to me, so I don't have it here, but apparently a UPS truck had a bowl of spaghetti thrown through the windshield. And I thought, who would waste spaghetti like that? Who would do that? Would anybody actually do that? But this they believe is a turnip. Now that the roller wieners are back on the job, how many has Gracie eaten today? Canadian Tanker, you're going, none yet. She's barely been awake to eat her breakfast, and then she had to go to take a nap again. So, and in the back is where the sun is right now. So she's in the back. By the back door, I have a big bird feeder for her, and it feeds the birds. She watches them and falls asleep. So Volvos are way nicer than Cadillacs, but I know what you're saying. Yes, the Cadillac, you're comparing it the wrong way, people. I always saw the Pete 570 in the shop, more so than the Freight Shaker. Don't forget the Pacific rim trim. Oh, that's extra. Oh, that's got to be more than $23. Has to do a lot with the driver, Rhino. Yeah, maybe. I mean, some stuff like the DEF or whatever that went bad on a couple of the trucks, that can't be anything to do with the driver. Ironically, Alexander, my great uncle is 93, and they own a Buick. Of course, it's required. I think once you become like an AARP member or something, there's probably a coupon in there for a discount at the Buick dealer. So, and the left turn signal, the salesman puts it on for you there, turns it on, and it just stays on. No dealership for repairs, but my local neighborhood repair shop for sure. Oh, okay. Well, I like to go to the dealer. I think you get better repairs there. Do you know any information about the camera that I should can read, like speed limit signs, construction signs? They were efficient for trucking. Justin, I didn't know they had one that would read those out. I guess some trucks do that, though, from what people wrote into me. That on the dashboard of the truck, it tells you what the speed limit is on there. Pretty good. That Samsara, that reminds me of Samsara. They are a company that does e-logs, but they also do driver-facing cameras in real time. That's what they say, so that your back office can watch you. They had a bunch of layoffs, and I thought, good, I hope the place closes. Samsara, if you're listening, I hope you close down watching drivers in real time. Not only that, the Samsara camera, when you pick something up and look at it, it can know. The camera knows what you're holding. Now, it shows on their videos that it can detect a cell phone based on its shape and immediately sends the video back to the company. Now, you shouldn't be picking up a cell phone, but I thought, what if you have a sandwich with pumpernickel? And I thought about this because I love pumpernickel bread. That might look like a phone to a camera. I don't know. So you could get busted on a pumpernickel sandwich. Harness is a big problem for new Cascadias. Oh, okay. I didn't have any problems with mine, but it was like 50-50, which I thought was a lot. I believe that would take a superhuman effort just across Texas on Interstate 10. That's a whole day, isn't it? Like 910 miles all the way across there. So, said turnips, they throw bars of soap. Well, the cop said because this was purple, there was damage on it that was purple. They believe, that's what the police said, they believe it was a turnip. Why are we throwing vegetables at trucks? I love my Freightliner, all Coronado. Wow. And all rolling strong, even the first one I brought. Yeah, an SD122 Coronado. Now, that's the Western Star of Freightliners. This is spaghetti abuse. It's unacceptable. I know. And they threw meatballs, too. It was spaghetti and meatballs because it was stuck all over it was a day cab, UPS day cab, and it was stuck all behind him, all on the windshield and everything. All kinds of spaghetti. I'm thinking, who does that to spaghetti? I like my wieners just like my women. Hot, dark, and juicy. It's kind of like an airplane. Somebody threw a tomato at me and took up my reefer digital readout. Really? Was this frozen tomato? The big Petro north of Birmingham used to have a golf cart to haul the truckers back up the hill. Oh, they probably, because they couldn't get up there. They probably had to retire it after the transmission went out. All the batteries died out on it. Years ago, I had a brick thrown through my windshield going to the rail yard, which, well, Bill might know which one it is, because I don't remember what the name of it is, over on 63rd or whatever, just on the other side of the Robert Taylor homes. But you could only, from 94, there's railroad tracks that ran right across. You had to get over there. And only a couple of entrances you could get under 94, the interstate in Chicago. And so you had to get off at 51st or 53rd and then go down, I think it was Ashland, I don't even know. And you'd have to go in front of the Robert Taylor homes, and there were people laying in the street to get you to stop. And we would just cruise through those red lights. This is in the early 90s. And somebody threw a brick through the windshield of my R Model Mac, went right through the passenger windshield and hit the seat next to me. Did not stop. 1988, I picked a load of batteries in Anaheim and drove straight through to Indianapolis, nonstop, no sleep. It was not fun. That is a long drive. That's almost as long as Long Beach to Atlanta. GP Transco uses Samsara, but you do not have to have the camera face you. That is the problem with Samsara, right? The camera that faces you is real time. So at GP Transco, which I've said I would not do, which is I would not let them turn it on facing me. And if they do, it's 2 cents a mile extra you can get, but you do not have to have it, and I wouldn't, and I'd cover the inside camera. I would have that camera covered up. Okay, because I'm not going to have somebody bust me for having a pumpernickel sandwich. Am I the only one that likes a thick skin on my roller wiener? Well, depends how long it rolls around in there, I think, right? Gets kind of like pruny, like it's been in the pool. What to use to glue back up the ceiling top cover that comes loose and hangs down? The ceiling top cover, like the headliner on cars I used to have, I would use thumbtacks. So go get yourself 1,000 thumbtacks and thumbtack that thing back up there. Really? Do you get a Trix bar when you take your car to the dealer for service? No, I have gotten a loaner car before for an oil change. I told him, how long is this going to be? I got stuff to do today. He goes, go take that Edge. So I took the Edge. I ran across town and came back. And by then the car was done. So that was pretty nice. But yeah, I just used the dealer for service. It's no more money, and it's guaranteed by Ford. So is Giant Truck Stop in Gallup, New Mexico still operating? And they are the largest. They are not. The world's largest truck stop is in Walcott, Iowa. It says so on the sign. So, does a turnip leave its own distinct pattern when thrown at a windshield? How did they figure that out? Well, they got that guy with the glasses, and the Who was playing in the background when they looked at it. And they did this big investigation, apparently, and probably some kind of turnip DNA. They had turnip ancestry. They looked it up, and they determined that it was a turnip. I mean, they said turnip. Like, they could have said purple item or something, but they said turnip. So, I don't know how they determined it, but they must have a turnip expert. There's a committee for that, yes. That was the Conrail. Okay, yeah, Conrail. Back in those days, the Norfolk and Western today. Okay, yeah, and you went down, you couldn't get under all of them, 51st to 63rd. So you had to go 12 blocks in front of the Robert Taylor homes, which have been torn down. And these were all HUD housing, big high-rise HUD houses there. But people were laying in the street, because I did nights then, as I basically always have. And they were laying in the street to get you to stop. I assume you'd either be killed or everything stolen out of your truck. And we wouldn't stop at all. If you had 2-3 people, you went through the red lights and everything. Yeah, you just did. You didn't have any choice. In a car, I'm talking about that. It might be the biggest one for a car. But the biggest one for trucks is Walcott, which they're virtual this year, which I just love. They went to virtual. Instead of regular Truckers Jamboree, it's going to be a virtual Jamboree. So you get a virtual truck show and nothing else. That's pretty good. So a California trucking company is suing over inflated fuel prices. They are claiming that a couple of fuel companies inflated their fuel prices because there was a problem. And so they're going to sue to say, look, the fuel price was improperly inflated. Here's the thing. The fuel price is what it is. And you don't have a right No one has a right to fuel at any certain price. So therefore, the price can't be inflated. That's what I would say in the court. Because you want the price to be 2 and now it's 5, you don't get to sue for that. There's no right to fuel at any certain price. You don't even have a right to have fuel to start with, much less at any certain price. So personally, I'd throw that out. I'm not an attorney on the court there, though, but I don't think so. You can't have fuel. I'd say, well, they're inflating it. Well, number one, you could buy fuel somewhere else, but they're inflating the price. I'm not for that. The same cop that says it was a turnip is the guy that threw the truck. He goes, I know why it's a turnip. I'm the one that threw it. Getting rid of it that way is not great. There's other ways we can get rid of turnips than throwing it through a truck. This driver, he's lucky, nothing happened to him because it hit the passenger window over there. This kind of stuff kills people. They throw pumpkins and stuff and you get killed. The UPS driver, he said he was, quote, covered in spaghetti and sauce, which you'd probably think, oh my God, I'm dying. I'm full of blood. It turns out it's ragu. But the whole truck was covered with spaghetti. And so that's why I'm looking at my package. Your package has been delayed. Oh, your package has a noodle delay. What does that mean? That's what it means. The UPS driver got sprayed with spaghetti through the windshield. I don't know how much spaghetti, by the way, we have to dump off the bridge or whatever to have it go through a windshield. I'm not sure. Virtually, and you still can't find a parking spot. The heady trucker, yes, it says you can virtually come, and then when you go on the website, it says, sorry, no parking. You'll have to park across the street at the Pilot. Stop for ice cream in Lake City, largest cone in the north. I don't know where that is. Is that by the largest thermometer? I was down there one night when a Penn Central driver was killed. What happened to him? Was it the same kind of thing on the road? Is that Ashland Avenue? I don't remember, but will you be able to get a virtual pork chop? I wish you could. They should send one to your house, and then you can eat that while you look at all the trucks and stuff, because that was Pork Chop Fest at that place. Fountain soda machine is down at the Loves and Tiff in Georgia. Ugh. Oh, by the way, are they letting everybody bring their own mugs in? I don't have a mug anymore. So are they letting you fill your own soda in your own mug yet, or do you still have to use their cups? Because that would save them money. Just having this done has got to be the greatest thing for truck stop, because they had to have the clerk come and select, you get a Wiener selection, get you a soda. Oh, I'll take mustard. Not that much, a little bit more, a little relish. I mean, for the 4 minutes, I've seen people, they're painting some kind of Picasso picture or whatever, taking all this time, on a Wiener, 14 minutes. I just need a little bit of this. Let's see, relish. It takes forever. Get your sandwich and get the heck out of here. Keenan Advantage is a tanker company, but they have seen pictures lately of pulling Walmart trailers. Wow. So they don't have enough to do. So they went over, and that's part of the reason that rates went down, is because Keenan probably wouldn't normally pull Walmart trailers. So when they come in also, that also just puts too much capacity in the market. And once they all go back to normal, the rates will come back up. And I know there's some people still making good rates out here. So it isn't everybody across the board. And since some people can make rates, other people could too if they would put in the effort that it would take. It may take more effort now. But that's what you're doing. Somebody I was reading about said, because they went with Brittany Richardson, right? Brittany, and she has that pink RTI truck, and she's been going around the country feeding drivers, fueling our heroes with CDL Life. And one driver, I guess, there with her said, look, we weren't going to eat for the next 3 days. We were on our way home, and we weren't going to eat because we didn't have any money. And I thought, man, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to run a business, because they were owner-operators, if I didn't even have money to eat. It'd be time to pack that up and become a company driver. Either you're going to have to really put a lot of effort into making some money, or just call the place and say, here, get your truck, and I'm going to be a company driver. Because if you can't even feed yourself, I mean, I felt kind of bad for him. But if you can't feed yourself, there's no way that job's worth it. No way. No way. You can go on our website, too, over there, and they announce where they're going to be, and they're giving out thousands of meals to drivers. Pretty interesting thing. Yep. I thought that was pretty interesting. That's the kind of detail get me, but Columbo on the Keys. Yeah, maybe he was on it, because I mean they had the vegetable like right away. Oh, he goes, yep. The cop goes, yeah, I remember seeing this in '97. The great turnip caper. He goes, this is obviously a turnip, obviously. Price of fuel's $1.20. That's why we have a fuel shortage. Okay, it's $1.99 here, at least retail. around Lafayette. My company won't let us use any Love's truck stop on the West Coast because of fuel prices. Look, that's fair, and if they raise their price too much, eventually nobody comes in there. Absolutely. You have to pay $15 for a virtual reserve spot. Got to keep it authentic. Oh, that'd be great. Please enter your information. You get a reserve spot. It also makes you pay for a scale, everything. Spending 14 minutes working on a wiener usually results in marriage. I don't know what these people are doing. Okay? I don't know. I've seen people take less time to do a pre-trip on a truck than to do a pre-trip on a roller wiener. That is State Street. Okay. And Penn Central driver got out of his truck when the trailer doors were open and he was beat to death. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. That if I stopped, who knows what would happen to me. I would have run everybody on that street over before I would have stopped that truck. There's no way. There were 50 people outside at least that day. 50. Easy. And I hit the accelerator and hit the horn. And that was an old R model, and smoke poured out of that thing whenever you got on it. And so they were like scattering. They scattered out of the way. But one of them from over here threw a brick, and it went right through that windshield, like a half a brick. Landed on the seat, and I was cruised down there. And when I went back, this is Park Ridge Transport for anybody in Chicago. I go back over there, I'm done with that load, and I'm like, oh yeah, a guy threw a brick through the windshield. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll fix that tomorrow. I'll take a different truck. That was it. They're like, expect that kind of stuff. Amazing. I'm like, they almost killed me or whatever. He goes, oh yeah, what's going to happen over there? New York Jets 52012 Gaming. Hey, what's up? What's happening over there? Fuel prices are regulated, so how low the price can be, but not how high the price can be, of course. The price is capped by how much people will pay for it, just like apparently a Cadillac Escalade. They think somebody will shell $97,000 out for this thing. That's why I was carrying a hammer on me. There were too many people, I will say this, for a hammer. You couldn't, no matter, you can get out there and bust out hammer time. 50 people? No. No, there were too many. You could not stop there. I can usually get my wieners done in less than a minute, James. Well, they have medications for that. I've seen people, look, we've all seen this. What are you doing? You're not making this is not a masterpiece, okay? It's a lunch. The world's largest thermometers in Baker. Yes, gateway to Death Valley. I stop there for euros all the time. I know. It's $3.15 in California. Okay. 3.15 in California. Oh, $3.15 a gallon. Man, that's not terrible. My dad has a close call one night on 290 inbound, the Eisenhower. How about that? Going to C&W. Someone threw a brick, hit his hood and windshield. I was riding with him doing piggybacks on Saturday night. George Wilson. Was he okay? And did it go through the windshield? I mean, I always think about that. After this person sent me this turnip picture, I wrote him back. I said, I think about this a lot at night because I'm driving at night. People can throw stuff off. You can't see anybody up there at 2 a.m. Whoa, I got to make sure my road wieners are properly made to be able to maintain integrity until they're eaten. I know. And then they pay for it, and then they eat it before they walk out of the store. They're done with it. I'm like, you just spent all that time with it. You should savor that thing. I've gotten meals served to me in less time than it takes people at a restaurant than it takes people to do it. Pizza showed up at the front door in less time than that. It's all about supply and demand, Alexandra. If prices get too high, demand goes down. Exactly. If a store now sold gas around here for $4 a gallon, nobody would go in there. So they can't. They would have to lower their price. That works out for everything, right? Doing a 34-hour reset in Effingham. Oh, very nice. Be sure to get a shower in there. They have great showers. We hated to go to that rail at night. I know. I'm like you. I went slow and timed the lights, but at night we were lined up down the street to get in. That's true. And I'll tell you, if there was a red light there, I did not stop, and none of us did. We had a couple of night drivers there. We did not stop at the reds on that light. You just slowed down and honked like an ambulance and went through the light. You could not stop going down that street. There were not a cop to be seen anywhere. I got fuel to Valero in Oklahoma for $1.59. That's really good. It's like, what did I get Friday? $2.75 or something? It was $2.80. I don't look at the price that often because I don't have to pay for it, honestly, to be honest with you. The railroad you're talking about was in New York Central, 6300 South Indiana Avenue. I don't remember their exact address, but yeah. And you couldn't get off there. You had to get off way up there because you couldn't get under the railroad. So if you had a 13.6 box, you couldn't get under. If you got a lower box, I think you could get under closer to it. Diesel is $3.80 a gallon, Canadian tanker, 99 cents a liter in Ontario. This is the lowest I've seen it. Guess we're just used to getting overcharged. Yeah, I guess so. The rates and everything should reflect the price of fuel, certainly. Or the company would have to figure out, we can't haul for 48 cents because fuel's 50 cents a mile. Roller arenas are great, but they always supply dry buns. And that's, who wants that? And nothing makes more of a mess than a dry bun. We should petition for moisture buns. Yes. Well, maybe the driver was, perhaps using Arby sauce condiments and that kind of thing for that. Darnell, running late. What's going on? It's good to see you. I paid $1.62 in Amarillo. Oh, nice. That's pretty good. So you're getting it cheap. You need it on the Coronado, although it does get good fuel mileage, you said. Fuel surcharge based on the average, national average. Operate left coast, and you're paying out of your pocket. Yeah, some places you go, it's higher fuel. You got to figure. I assume that as you run a business, you got to kind of figure that stuff out. I mean, as a company driver, I never have to think about the price of fuel. That's the good part of being a company driver. Fuel the truck, and it doesn't matter to me how much it costs. If they want to deal with the fuel price, they can say, okay, here's a book or whatever, but they don't. So they must not care either, because I get an open fuel card. So if they don't care, I don't care. It's okay either way. Well, now that you've thought about the hours of service for a week, what do you think? Is that going to help you or not? The ATA came out in favor of it, of course. The Truckload Carriers Association came out in favor, of course. The split sleeper, 8273, neither part goes against your 14 hours. What do you think about that? I think that's one of the biggest changes. 30-minute break. Also, you do it after 8 driving hours. So theoretically, on days if you don't have 8 driving hours, you would not have to take a 30-minute break. And it doesn't have to be off-duty anymore. I think those 2 changes were big changes. Is that going to affect anybody's running or anything like that? Oh, the heady trucker, that's why you bring your own buns. Oh, can you bring your own buns in there? That is a pro tip. I appreciate that. Precision Logistics is here. Hello. What do you think about the hours of service? Precision Logistics. Will they help you, the new hours of service? By the way, they've not been published even yet to the Federal Register. So it's 120 days from publication before they take effect. So you're looking at end of September now at the earliest. Groups, ATA, or anybody else can file a lawsuit to stop them or anything, and they have 30 days after publication. So, and that could push it back to whoever knows how long. If the court says hold these, it could drag on for who knows, years? Who knows? I did 7.93 miles per gallon. That's pretty good. At 70, that's really good. From California to Georgia, getting fuel for $1.59 is like stealing. And doing 8 miles to the gallon, you did pretty good on that load. It's hard to believe in a pandemic that you can make money, because all I hear about are people don't make money. So amazing when you have the right contacts and that you could make money coming out of California. That's really good. And I was surprised to see that you went to California. I mean, holy moly. And it didn't have 12 stops. It sounds like a good and bad news hours of service since you're a company driver. Yeah, it's going to increase the amount of time that you can work. And I think companies, even if they don't tell you to log sleeper time, they will certainly look the other way when people log improper sleeper berth time when they're on a dock or whatever. They won't say anything about it, kind of out of sight, out of mind thing, so that you can take that 3 hours and stop your 14-hour clock, or even 2 hours now. Let us run the way we are now hauling essentials. That would be nonstop, and that's not going to help rates, and certainly that's not really the safest way to do it, right? Really, the only reason I really like an hours of service from a libertarian point of view is that it holds the companies. Because if you could if there was no hours of service anymore, companies would just say, well, there's no reason you can't run 12 hours to get that load over there. It's not illegal. So why aren't you doing it? That's the problem. It holds companies at least to some kind of standard. Otherwise, they'll really put the squeeze on people, especially in the tri-bunks. Good mileage with the tailwind. It worked out pretty good. Just eliminate the computerized logs and tracking. That'll make this whole industry. It'll make this industry whole again. The computerized logs. Well, you could get an older truck, I guess, and not have to do them. The reason is everybody was cheating it, right? Once those came out, people were able to get more money. You saw pay go up crazy. Once those went into effect, pay, especially for company drivers, was up, because they couldn't get drivers. They needed all these extra drivers. Forcing the industry to need drivers does increase everybody's pay. Some people cringe at the word moist. That's how I feel about essential. Yeah. Are essential people working, or essential people at home, not working, staying relatively safe based on the people that are out? I sleep when I'm tired. Well, do you though? And company drivers would be forced to run. Because, okay, you go, I'm too tired to take it. And they go, fine, we'll get somebody to take it from you after they badge you about it for a while. And they go, fine, we'll take somebody to take it. And then you don't get a run for 3 days. That's how that stuff is going to work. That's the only reason I want a hold on companies. Because it will stop them from forcing you to drive. Drive to your turn, take a break. When I'm ready to drive again, get after it. That would work out good if people would do it and companies would allow it. From your side, it works out fine, right? Because no one would force you to go, other than when your load goes or whatever. But as a company driver, they're going to say, look, there's a tired guy at that same truck stop. You're going to go over and take that load 300 miles and go deliver it. And when you go, I'm sleeping too, I'm too tired, it's going to put either a lot of pressure on you if you're new, or they're going to make you sit. And yeah, they'll lose drivers, but they don't care. They already go through drivers quickly as it is. So I'm not as much of a fan of it as you would think. You got that right, Mark. Thank you. Yeah, I think that we need to hold the companies to account. Otherwise, holy mackerel, they'll have you drive all over the place. There'll be no reason. Right now you can say, well, it's illegal for me, so you can't force me to drive. And you get backed up by the government, and a number of companies have had to pay big amounts because of that, for forcing people to go over. But that would be eliminated. So if there are no hours, there would be no incentive for them to not say, well, what do you mean you can't go 30 more minutes? What do you mean? Now you could say it's illegal. I'm not going. And there's nothing they can do about it. But I think, it's 2 hours. What, you can't go 2 more hours? Get out and walk around the truck like that K&B video. Slap yourself a couple times, right? Get a wiener. Get a haircut, full service haircut. Do something. I'm a company driver and I don't drive tired no matter what. Exactly. Now, especially now, you don't have to. But they could put a bigger squeeze on you if you didn't have hours of service. I saw a report that Walmart was making millions above their projected sales. Oh, yeah. I drive by the Walmart. It's packed almost all the way out to the end of the parking lot like Christmas time. It's super packed of people. How is that? They want you to stay in your house, except go to Walmart where everybody else is. They are super packed. They're making a ton of money. I totally agree. Truck drivers don't cheat, and we're all upstanding, clean, trim professionals. Exactly. And safety and courtesy in mind. And that's the thing of it, right? A few people are going to put the bad word out for everybody else. Henry scored. Any input from Day and Ross? They have a lot of dedicated runs in my area. Really? I didn't know they did a lot in the United States. Do we have any Day and Ross drivers here? I thought they were, isn't that a Canadian or a Canadian-based company? Am I not thinking of the right place? Alexander, we don't need rates to go down anymore. That's the implication of this. The more drivers can work, see, if everybody could work all they wanted, no matter what, say everybody just did 20% more work, that reduces the need of drivers by that much, and that doesn't help rates. You need pressure on the market to make rates go up. So it would reduce rates. Yeah, the people that are here already would maybe make more money, maybe not, but rates would come down. So you'd work more for less money a mile. I don't know if that's a great plan, certainly. What are the goals of this YouTube channel? The goals of the YouTube channel are to show cat pictures and talk about trucking. So that's pretty much what I do. When are you going to cut that hair? I have no idea. May just let it go. I have to make an appointment now here for the hair place. So at the moment, no plans. The best thing about the waived hours of service is I can sleep when I'm tired, not when the government tells me. That's true. You can go till you're tired and sleep. That's right. But you must think that companies will put the squeeze on people and not let them sleep when they're tired, because they'll say, look, this load's got to be there. You got to do it. And they'll do this is for America. They'll start that way. Do it for your country, right? Do it for your countrymen. And then they'll say, as a team member, we all got to pull together here. We all pull together as a team. They always try that kind of stuff. I love it. How's this channel blessed everyone so far? Share my experiences. That's up for people to determine. Walmart also makes all kinds of money from their online sales. Yeah, you can buy stuff at Walmart and have it delivered to your house. There are bits of useful info scattered throughout. I appreciate that. Any small bit, I'll take it. I'll take it. When I ran 6300 South in Indiana, it was Conrail. When I was a kid running with my dad, it was a New York Central. Okay, yeah. All I'm saying is that 63rd Street rail yard, when I used to run those rails, up and down that street was horrible of people trying to presumably kill you. Why else would you lay in the street? There were kids out. People had their kids out. The president is back on the sat phone. You heard Beard are going so long it's turning into the Amish trucking channel. I know. All I need is a black hat. Prime. I should try and see if I can get a Prime hat. Maybe that would work good for that. The brokers put pressure on owner-operators to run, just like the two companies do their drivers all the time. Well, brokers do, but the owner-operator has a lot more power than a company driver, especially when they're new. New drivers. The pressure that they could put under at some of these places, they don't pay them much, and so then when they do get a load, they're like, well, you got to take this. And the driver's like, I'm already only making $500 a week, so I better do this, or they're going to lose my job or whatever. It puts a lot of pressure on people to be unsafe. And then if they do have accidents, they just get fired. They go, well, it was another unsafe driver, you know. They get with once an increase because you're a hero. Some are doing a couple cents. Here's our hero. And I love that England ad. CR England is running those ads. Attention trucking heroes. Right, come and work here. I love it. They're doing all the patriotic thing, yeah. And then they're like, we don't pay you for part of your time. I've seen a good saying the other day, if the government can make you stay home from work, why can't they make the lazy ones get a job? Oh, that's very good. That would be a great bumper sticker. Yeah. How about the reverse? Make people go to work. They actually talked about a new Deal kind of FDR kind of program coming out too. Have you ever shaved your head? No. Soon I won't have hair and won't have to. So, Geneve, I'm not going to like your show just to find out you got 3 different hair colors on your beard. Yep, it's changing through the time. It's kind of like one is for each bunk. I like to celebrate each bunk in an England truck. But once you get in your extreme upper 30s, then you can get these kind of color changes. Used to cut my own hair when I showered. Then I told Love's employees that I love their barbershop. Oh, I wonder what they said about that. You know, I was wondering about that going into those showers too. Like, well, it's all wet in here. Here's some old CR Englands from the day too. Who remembers seeing these trucks on the road? For England. Anybody? Look at that. Yes, that's CR England when CR England was a company that people wanted to work for. So, pretty good. And I don't know what year those are from. Early. 70s, maybe? You gotta switch your name, the scumbag trucker. It's about honesty. Once you get a name, you gotta keep it, right? They want trucking companies pool that pressure you into move a load. It's time to move from that company. It is. I agree with you. Any company that puts the squeeze on you like that, if you tell them you're tired, I wouldn't want you to drive. I don't know why companies do that. If a driver feels tired enough to call in and say, look, I'm too tired, I can't go on, park the truck. I mean, you got to go. Who wants them to do that? I don't want you to getting killed or killing somebody else on the road. I don't want that. Companies should want you to be safe if possible. Get there if you can. If not, call us. We will take care of it. You know, and it's no problem. But some companies, as we all know, would not do that. They'd be like, oh, we don't have anybody. It's only 100 miles. Why can't you go? That kind of thing. And a new driver who's only been there a few months may do it. And that's very unsafe. And it's the company doing that. And nothing will become of the company because that'll all be on the phone, believe me. Oh, well, we never said any such thing. That's why all these phone calls have to be recorded too. Everything should be in writing with your company, no matter if you have a good relationship with them or not. Can you wear a black Amish hat with the Trucking Answers logo on it? I don't think you're allowed to embellish when you're Amish. You can't embellish it with such things like that. There was a time when CR England wasn't a meme. Oh, yes, not that long ago. CR England was a company people wanted to go. People were like, wow, when can we go there? Like this. Now, these trucks have all the plates on them, too. So, these are before deregulation. And this is, I'm going to say these trucks are from the early 70s. I'm not sure. My dad and you were okay. Good. It did not go through the windshield. That's good. The old Diamond REO was tough. Yeah, 2-inch windshield. My mom found out to stop my weekend truck rides. Oh, see? That's always the thing, stopping you from risk. Although that might have been a good idea. George H.W. Bush, Walmart's pulling drivers from USX out of Auburn to help out in Gas City and Coldwater, DCs. They're so busy. If you've gone by a Walmart, there's cars everywhere in there. Meijer has not experienced that. It's just normal at Meijer when I go shop over there. But driving by the Walmarts, it's busy. There's 3 of them in town here. USA Truck used to pressure me by saying it's a hot load. Yeah, it's hot. And I would tell them it's going to cool down when I'm hooked to it. One of the reasons I'm not there. But see, USA Truck, if they said that to a new driver, and they'd probably say, look, and we really need you. You know, you're the one that can do it. You can help us out. You're part of the USA team, you know, hot load team, that kind of thing. And drivers would do it. Drivers would do it and shouldn't. And I never understood companies that are okay with that. Every load is a hot load. That always seems like it. You pick it up, oh, get it there right away. They'll take it immediately. You can get there on Tuesday and they go, well, this appointment is Friday. And you say, well, dispatch said you'll take it immediately. Yeah, they go, we don't think so. Those New England trucks ran 80. That's when the trucks ran too. And there's no training in those trucks. Those are drivers running trucks. Coast to coast. That's when they had coast to coast loads too. Those were the Art Bell of trucking. Ever seen the trucking company A. Dewey Powell? Yes. Is that some kind of joke? No, it is not. That is the name of a company. A. Dewey Powell. Absolutely. Looks like I look like a roadie for Fog Hat. Wow. I do not have a picture of Fog Hat to put up. I wish I did. That would really be something. A picture of Fog Hat. If you say no as a new driver, you can watch your miles dwindle. Happened to you, the heady trucker. Exactly. That's what I think is going to happen. You go no, and you might sit a couple days, or now you get 2,300, you get 1,800, 1,500. See, they never fire you because they would have to give you unemployment or whatever. So they just let you quit, and they just starve you out, and then try to collect on a contract if you had a contract also. Or then nobody else will hire you because you have a contract. It's not a way to do business. Now, at least with hours of service, and you do all this in writing with your company, you can always write in the government and say, well, here's all the evidence and here's what was happening. But, other than that, if there are no hours of service, you'd have nothing to fall back on. Lake City's in northern Michigan, east of Cadillac. Ironically, that's the home of the Escalade up there. That's where they make them in Cadillac, Michigan. People don't know that. And Lake City, right? Lake City, I didn't know where that was, but that's way up there. It's probably still snowing up there for all I know. The short haul exemption that the Teamsters griped about, I don't think is as big a deal. They said because the short haul went from 100 miles to 150 miles and 12 hours to 14 hours. Now short haul drivers that are back each day, and you have to be released from your same location every day to use that. You can't be released at a different location. Will not have to run a log. And they said, well, this will increase short haul drivers' day, and they'll have to do more work, but not really. Because in the past, short haul drivers that ran over the 100 air miles or over 12 hours could just run a log. So that it won't increase their day at all. It just will allow some people that were running a log to not run a log. That's the only difference. So I don't think that the Teamsters were on it for the short haul thing. I don't think so. You'll see Mark's armpit here at the man. Oh, well, that's true enough, among other things. Those Sierra England trucks probably did run 80 in the day. Yes, absolutely. Which was still slow. Those guys were cruising coast to coast. You could get good miles. Let the trucker alleged sell Swift ran triple digits. I don't know if I ever saw that. But England, was coast to coast refrigerated. Absolutely. You ran those back and forth. I heard drivers talking about it all the time. And it was always like, oh, man, if I got on the road, I could go to England and really make some money. And because I'm getting all these miles. Schneider and UPS used to run back in the day. If I was in a hurry, I would get behind one of them. So they ran those lights too. The police, you couldn't call the police. They were like too scared to come to that neighborhood. So there's no way. Hello there. I'm trying to change the way drivers think of themselves. Cash is King Trucking. We are the ones that make the money for the company. So I look at it like the company works from you. That would be great. If they thought that too, the best companies do think that. And they treat you like, you're helping them. They help you. Everybody works together. That'd be a great way to do it, wouldn't it? None of this fake, Oh, you're an associate, you're a family member. We're not family. I never like companies saying that. I don't see them, like I'm not going to see anybody from work today on a holiday, okay, because we're not family. I don't call them on the weekends and chit-chat. We're not family. So let's just be real about it. We work there, but, they should be better about it. During the 70s, teams ran trips over 1,500 miles because of the 55-mile-an-hour limit. Nice. Yeah. And if the company doesn't do a good job for me, you fire them. That's the best way to think about it. Maybe that's what we should teach new people. That's very good. That they work for you and you're the one that fires them. They don't fire you. You are firing them from their job of providing you with a living. That's pretty good. My question is, who cares what the Teamsters want? I own my own truck, not them. Well, that's true. But if you want more hours, though, owning your truck like that, that reduces your rates. So keep that in mind. To have an open log, which many owners want that. I've seen that owner OI and stuff. Okay, that reduces the rates that you get. I think that's the way it should be. We're the ones on the road. Yes, we should fire them. When did Sierra England fall into the rut they're in now? I don't know when the original owner, who is still alive, by the way, 90-something or whatever, he left or did something else because he got old, and now family members run the place. And that's how it happens at a lot of these places. That's what happened there, too. It just fell into, it's like a house that somebody moves into, but they don't have a good job. And so they live there and the house falls into disrepair. That's what happened here too. These people moved in to England, but they don't care that much. They're not drivers like the dad was. And it's just falling apart now. It could be put back together, but it needs a full rehab. What's a good company to go with the 3 months experience? Looking for local. Well, local, it depends where you live, right? And same with the regional. So we got to know that. There may not be an I in team, but there are two of them in stick it. Very good. That's very good. They always say that too. Oh, you're part of the team. No, I'm not here for the team. I'm here to feed my family and make a living. To me, people always write to me, Mark, this is a lifestyle. No, it isn't. It's a paycheck for me. And when that becomes a problem for the company, then we need to move on to another company and become part of that team, right? And their family. James Morrow, you have a hot load, you're probably not able to stop off at the manhole for the weekend. Oh, no, there's always time. You always make time for the manhole. Always. What's the band going to do without me? I mean, how do you do, because we do we are Village People cover band at the manhole. So how do we do, so you can't be there without the construction guy, or you can't be there without the motorcycle cop, right? I got your, I don't care what the Teamsters want right here. Yeah, it just depends. Every group wants something different. The ATA is for it. Teamsters are against it. But the problem is that the article said crash, right? Remember them? Citizens and for safe and reliable. Citizens, reliable and safe highways crash. And the Teamsters were considering challenging the hours of service. That was the problem. And within 30 days after it's published, they can challenge it. And the judge presumably will put it on hold at that point. So if that case doesn't get resolved by the original inception date, which will be at the end of September, the case will drag on and the new hours of service will not go into effect. And I think the government would like them to go into effect for the Christmas season, which will probably be big from everybody being in their house. Because I know they said around here, all the restaurants and stuff were full, everything's packed, everybody's buying everything. They're getting all these checks in the mail and these huge unemployments. A lot of people are making more on unemployment than they make in working. The children taking over the business is what happened to Pea Soup Anderson's out of California. Bill Johnson's Big Apple, both outstanding places. Once the kids take over, it's a problem. Big Osso's in Orlando. Is anybody down there in Orlando with a local job? Maybe Holland is down there, but now they have problems. I would have sent them to CCC, which is where I send people locally in Florida, but holy mackerel, they just went bankrupt. Who's in Orlando? The family bit always seemed gross to me, not just in trucking. Why? I don't know why they say that, because they think like, oh, blood is thicker than water, so you'll do stuff for them that you wouldn't do for somebody else. But I do less for them than I would do for my family, which isn't much as it is. Your hair and beard are lifestyle. Driving truck puts food on the table. Right. Driving the truck puts the food. Right. And the hair and beard are lifestyle because I couldn't get anything done with them. But yeah, I totally agree. It's just, to me, driving is a job like any other job. And I think that you should always do a good job, whatever you do. But it's a job, and if as soon as my company and I go the wrong way, then we go somewhere else. That's all. Oh, Sir Wilhelm, as a Schneider company driver, this change in hours of service will only make our days longer with a no increase in pay. That's correct. If you're at a company that has a lot of time that they don't pay you for, you're going to get even more of that. Congratulations, and will not be paid for it. Now, here's the thing. How about you go to Schneider and say, hey, why don't you pay us for all of our time? Because I'm sure at Schneider, there's a lot of time, an hour or two at least, when you're loading and unloading that they don't pay you for. So it would be really great if they paid you for that time. Always hated the buzzword treating you like family. Right. They're not treating me. That's, who does that? Cracker Barrel, one of those places, treating you like family? No, they're not. Else I'd have to go do the dishes at those restaurants. And I don't pay for food if I go over to my family's house. Amish cannot operate motor vehicles, but Mennonites can drive. The Amish could be a passenger, though. Right? They can be a passenger. So can the Mennonite have a logo on their clothing? Because I know you're not allowed to not bedazzle, right, but do anything to your clothing that can, make you stand out. I'm sure they don't say bedazzle. I doubt any of them have that rhinestone thing in there. Certainly. Let's see, where was I here? So Windows, I did that. Okay, the turnip, which I love. This HEROES Act, I don't think this act is going to pass the way it sits. So the $13,000, I don't know if you're going to get that. Or the $25,000 at $13 an hour. I don't know, but the Senate, there's a lot of pressure on them. I think they're going to come up with their own alternative to the current HEROES Act, and it'll go back to the House. They'll work it out, and there'll be something to pass where you get at least another $1,200, which everybody probably should have gotten by now or is on the way for everybody. Cash is King Trucking, you would need 20-mile downhill to get one of those cab overs 80 miles an hour. Hey, once they got those things cranked up, though, they were cruising. That Mack cab over, oh, yeah. Alexander, it's always been too strange to me when someone says, be part of our company, especially after you made a lady's taco. Well, yes. You're still family. You're still family here. Pilot 895 in Michigan, no air in the showers. Oh, it's like a tropical rainforest in there. They gave me a free shower credit, at least. Well, I mean, stuff happens, right? I was in a pilot. It wasn't a pilot. I think it was a Love's years ago, taking a shower, and the lights went out. The lights just went out in the shower. All the lights. I presume they went all out everywhere. And I'm in there. I'm like, crap. So I had my phone and turned the flashlight part of it on and finished my shower. I thought, should I get out or what? I thought, no. I used a shower credit. I'm taking a shower. And they never, the thing is that bothered me, I guess, they never checked on me or anything. And they knew I was in there because this is when you used to have to go up to the front and get a key on a big stick. So they absolutely knew that I was in there. And they never checked on me or anything. And I finished my shower and brought the towels back and put them in the towel receptacle and left. So they never said anything about it. It didn't affect the shower other than it was dark in there. I delivered to a Mennonite farm, Darnell Roberts, in Arkansas roads, and was surprised when I saw a 9-year-old girl driving a minivan around like she owned it. She did own that place. Of course, you can always drive on your own private property. That'd be nice. I learned to drive in a cemetery. And maybe 12 or 13 years old, probably 12. There's a couple of Mennonite brothers running old Mack hauling steel out of East Chicago. Oh, is it called Mennonite Trucking or something like that? That would be really, that'd be a really good name. But around 12 or 13, that's when my grandfather taught me how to drive. Probably, 11, 12 years old. In his 1972 Chevrolet Caprice Coupe, 2-door, with the 400 small block in it. So, and that's where I learned to drive in the cemetery. We would go over there every Sunday because I stayed over at his house a lot. And to water my grandmother's grave, flowers and stuff like that. He went over there every week for many, many years. And then he would let me drive around the cemetery. So I guess he figured I can't kill anybody. I don't know. I don't know what he thought about it, but that's where I would drive around in the cemetery. And that's where I learned how to drive in a 400 Chevy Caprice, 2-door. This Samsara, they have the ability to watch you while you're driving in real time. They show it on their website. They've had to lay some people off, which I really feel horrible about. But they show on their website that they can watch you driving in real time. So they go, well, we can show companies what you're really doing all the time. When there's an event or something like that, the company can log in and see right through the camera right then. And it showed It shows all the boxes, right? It boxed everything. Now, I guess this would be a good time to wear a mask, although I presume it would know who you are still. But it boxed everything. It boxed. So mirrored glasses would work out best too. It can't see through those. It's just creepy watching you all the time. And they had a bunch of layoffs. A huge part of their workforce got laid off. And I figured it couldn't happen to a better company. Samsara. All these companies that make a driver-facing camera, not great. That's kind of technology. That's what's going to run a lot of people out of the business eventually. Someday, I think the government will mandate them. Once they get enough autonomous trucks, they'll probably mandate driver-facing cameras for drivers that are left so that they can watch you. And they'll learn from it and everything. The good thing about rollers is if you do throw them at trucks, they make your point with no damage. Very friendly food. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're on a bridge and you throw a roller wiener at a driver, it's like saying, hey, kind of solidarity kind of thing. You throw the roller wiener down there and maybe they even catch it. You're like delivering lunch. But either way, you're like, hey, I drive, you drive, we're out here together, that kind of thing. Right. That's very good. Columbia, Georgia, back from the speakeasy. Oh, well, I've already reported you on the app, of course. I mean, if spaghetti will go through a windshield, I'm sure a wiener could. Could you imagine getting high-speed velocity wieners? High-speed velocity wieners. That'd be another good name for a band, especially on Saturday, especially at the Manhole. So I think that would be a great band name there. But look, I will say this, and that UPS truck, there was a lot of spaghetti. It didn't seem like it was a single serving. It seemed like an Italian grandmother made spaghetti for a family get-together, and they went outside and just dumped the whole thing of spaghetti. There were the police said there were no kind of implements like a bowl or anything. So I guess they just dumped the entire thing of spaghetti off the bridge and it went right through the truck and it splattered apparently all over the driver and everything else. So it was a spaghetti disaster. Hello from SCA Airport. Nice. In between flights headed to Medford, Oregon. Andrew, that's great. If you stay a while, the wife will be flying out there in August to see her son. She flies to SeaTac from Ind every year to see her kid out there. So when we bought tickets for this in February for August. And I thought, oh, crap. Now with all this, the ticket's going to be half price or anything. No. The ticket is still more now than it was when I bought it. So I'm super happy about that. I thought, crap, it's going to be like $29 now. No, it did not go down at all. In fact, it went up, but she'll fly out there in August and then she'll fly back and I'll go back and pick her up. So that will be a lot of fun. I'll drive a different car every day, I guess. Wiener through a windshield, talk about fast food. I know. We got to be careful about that. The government will stress us to death. They're every time that they release people, that the crown releases people, gives them a little bit of their freedom back that they should have already had, then they always put out in the news a few hours later, oh, there's been an increase in cases because people are back outside. You should all still stay inside. Crazy. Just don't even listen to them. Somebody needs to tell them that they work for us too, just like the trucking company. Do you think it would hurt the Teamsters if YRC closes? Cash is king. Yes, I think so. I mean, it's probably one of their largest membership places, right? There's not that many drivers that are union anymore. It's less than 10%. It's single digits. To have them close with thousands and thousands of drivers, they're not going to be able to get another union job, probably, or not all of them. So wherever their pension is, it will get frozen, and they'll have to go to a non-union company. And wherever they go, that company is not going to sign up for the union. And I think the longer a driver's been at Yellow, the harder it's going to be for them to get a non-union job. Say they are at Yellow and they go to Saya, which I don't think they're union. Okay, so say they're not union for this, R&L. One of those companies, they go, all right, I'll go over here. And they put down there, they've worked at Yellow for 18 years, 20 years. They're going to be like, no, this guy's going to come over here and try and unionize this place. So that may be a deterrent to the next company to hire you because they're afraid that you're going to come in and get everybody to sign a union card and make a vote over there. So I think it'll hurt the Teamsters and it'll hurt the driver itself if they go bankrupt and actually close up shop. Must have been super thick sauce in that spaghetti. It was. It actually looked pretty good. I thought If nothing else, the driver, if he wasn't hurt, he had something to eat while he waited for the police. What's the name of the Village People it's called just the Village People, tribute band that we do there at the manhole. Honestly, that sounds like a bad Mythbusters episode. It does, but it did. I know it went through the windshield. I saw the pictures of the truck. I mean, it's all red, and then in the truck, splattered all on the back, except in like an outline of a driver, just like a cartoon, is spaghetti and spaghetti sauce and meatballs, except where the driver was, because it hit him. I guess it's not that funny. It's kind of funny to me. And it was an outline of him other than that in the back of the truck. I guess they had to tow the truck away because it broke the whole windshield and everything. Yeah. You could pass this, Jamie, on Mythbusters. I love that show, by the way. I love really watching that show. So, remember when it was popular to TP trees, soap windows? They got to really damage. Now they've got to really damage things. Yeah, I never got into that, but I did see people doing the TP and stuff, and now you can't do that. Only rich people do that now. And soaping windows, yeah. He's closer to Adam than Jamie. Oh, yikes. Without the hat. Our truck school's open. It depends on the state. Some of them are opening back up. I know I just saw an ad this week for C1 in Indianapolis. They want instructors. So they must be open or getting ready to open. I thought, I bet they're getting ready to open back up. So it's ironic you mentioned that. So they will be open or open soon. If you're halfway through, you're going to be able to get back in. And now is a perfect time to jump back in. A lot of people have quit the industry and they're not coming back. They're not coming back. George Wilson, happy holiday. Got to go sausage and peppers and macaroni with the red gravy. Wow, that sounds really good. Do not throw that through a truck, and good to see you. Maybe the spaghetti incident was someone just throwing it to see if it was al dente. Like the refrigerator. Yeah. Oh, and they go, yeah, it's not done enough. It's too hard. Oh, it is funny. Okay, good. Do I have any info on Tribe Express? Yeah, I've looked into a little bit of Tribe, but it's been a while since I've talked about Tribe. So I don't have any off the top of my head. I can't have so many companies that I've looked at. Is there anybody here from Tribe? Sometimes we get a driver from that. That'd be the better way to do it. It's like the pie in the face to Bill Gates. Too funny. Oh, I didn't see that. Did that actually happen somewhere? I think the spaghetti thing was just someone trying to feed a trucker. No, they were heroes. Oh, but it was part of the feed the, I guess I shouldn't bring them into it, but right. Yeah, they go, how do we feed drivers? Well, let's give them spaghetti. And they're like, let's give them a spaghetti. That's my impersonation of someone that makes a lot of spaghetti. And they go down on the bridge and they just throw it off the bridge. Here, you can have all of it. Maybe they figure he'll spread it to all of the rest of his friends. So at UPS. Oh, that's it. They go, there's so many UPS drivers, let's give him a lot. And he can take it back with him. It was the most incredible thing. I mean, what person thinks like, you know what? I'm going to do something. I want to throw something through a truck windshield. What can I do? Spaghetti. I mean, the only way to do that is like the canned spaghetti. You can use that, but they just threw, it was just spaghetti. That's it. They just threw spaghetti. Too bad drivers can't object to the rules. Well, Bill, the drivers could object to the rules. We had tons of time to write into the rules, right? If you're in Illinois, will not be open until 2021, and then only if you're able to get a leave your house license. Yeah, what's up with Illinois? When did you guys turn communist over there? But Michigan, Whitmer, she just extended the shutdown order till way into June now, right? Remember that? Into like June 15th or something? Because the court allowed it for some reason, which we should throw all them out too. Columbia, Georgia, your company's Teamster, but we only have 17 drivers. Our local is tiny compared to UPS and Kroger. Right, well, what do you think? Columbia, Georgia, if Yellow closes and all those drivers are out of work, let's say they completely close, they have to find other jobs. What do you think that'll do to Teamsters? I've thought about opening a trucking school, training and refresher courses. It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. A few $1,000s, get people back in the industry, yeah. You'd be able to help people directly and see them go succeed. Having spaghetti sauce dumping, you reminds me of the scene from Grumpy Old Men. Oh, I didn't see it. The truck looked like it reminded me of the scene from Carrie. You folks need a Slayer cover band. Bring it on in, Alexander. Get your chaps out and bring it in. What about Koch? Yeah, anybody from Koch? Ryan, I'll help you with school and an instructor. Yeah. I'm game. Well, Bill, I've done a little research. It certainly is doable. There's always people that need a change. Trucking is still a good industry, even though we had 90,000 layoffs last month. Everybody's going to come back to work, and then more so. more so, because everybody's doing Arby's sauce packets and everything right now, and these long southern coast to coast runs, but eventually we'll all get back to normal and everything will be back open. So trucking is going to come back. Now would be a great time to get into a truck school. Since one issue marijuana voters voted for Pritzker, well, a lot of good that did them. Now he closed, or did those stores stay open? Dane, YRC will not close. They didn't even pay their health insurance. They have no money. Once a company has no money, that's a real problem. And companies bigger than Yellow, I will say, have closed. CF is a perfect example. So I think it's possible. And since they're out of money, that is a real problem. Because if they had any money, they'd pay the health insurance. This is terrible. There's got to be drivers super mad at them for that. Darnell, if you're going to throw spaghetti at me, at least include the garlic bread and side salad. Okay, I agree. Yeah, they didn't throw any of the extras. They didn't give any extras, and that was kind of disappointing. There's one spicy meatball. I don't know how much of it he ate. That's the thing of it, too. Do you dye your beard? Maybe I should. I dye my hair gray. The women seem to like it. I will say that years ago, I thought about dyeing when I was more vain. Now, I don't care necessarily what people think, but that bothered me years ago, and I thought, all this hair dye for men, they don't have red dye. So I would have to go with I'd do the reverse, like gray. A friend of mine sprays his head. He actually has a template cut out of a piece of paper. He puts on his head and sprays his spot on his head with this spray, and he's been using this stuff for years. And I thought, man, you're going to grow an extra hand out of that head or something. That stuff cannot be any good for you. The dispensaries are essential, just like tobacco and liquor stores. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, because tobacco stores stayed open, which they did here in Indiana as well. But then, like, the gym had to close. So you can't work out to be healthy, but, well, you can sure get your smokes and alcohol. It's so arbitrary. Walmart open, right? Other small clothing stores closed. Mall closed. Can't get that. Can buy jewelry at Walmart. Can't buy jewelry in the mall. What is the difference exactly? The difference is the government should have no say in it. Are we still in a driver shortage? Well, yes, the made-up shortage. Well, probably the ATA says a yes, absolutely. So let's ask Chris Spear about that. What does Chris Spears think? That we got to have a shortage. There's still a shortage. Believe me, as soon as this changes over a little bit, they're going to be crying shortage again so they can get more money. Absolutely. Only big box stores are open. Everything is closed. DMV has been closed. No appointments. That's what I'm waiting on. Could have started trucking a month ago. Depending where you are. In Indiana, they are doing appointments now. So, and depends where you are. Depends on the state. But yeah, I agree with you. Everything is closed except big box stores. So they get to stay open because they give a lot of money to politicians. That's what I think. I mean, the same stuff that I could buy at Walmart, I could buy at the mall. Like, I haven't been able to get into Forever 21 for months. I mean, how am I supposed to get any clothes? I can't. But it's okay for me to go to Meijer and buy the same kind of clothes. They're not Forever 21. It's not Abercrombie, but still. With all these bad tail kids at home, tobacco and liquor stores is very essential. Well, they said that there's going to be a lot more divorces, and I was really sad about that. I thought, why would you get divorced because you're spending more time with your spouse? Isn't that why you have a spouse? I mean, if spending more time with your spouse is bad, you shouldn't have a spouse. That's what I thought. And yes, I'm married, and this is 24 years, so I wouldn't mind that at all. Don't forget, Yellow owns Holland. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yellow is Holland. They have all these other things, New Pen, Redaway. All these are Yellow companies. So if they all close, that's a lot of drivers, and there's not that many more union jobs for them to go into. Their pension would be frozen wherever it is. And I think a lot of companies would be a little bit nervous to bring on a long-term union employee because they'd be afraid that they would try to unionize the place and try to get paid for all their time and stuff like they should be. So I think the longer you've been there, I think the more of a problem if they close. Bigger places than Yellow have closed. Alexander used to be part of a band a long time ago. It never went anywhere. Well, you got to stick with it. Success is a long road. Get that band back together and get down to the manhole. The only shortage of trucking is common sense. Yes, there's a manhole near you, believe me. Really enjoyed working as a dock worker at YRC, union and laid back. I should have never moved on, but I didn't have a CDL. Well, now, Dane, ironically, they have a dock to driver program. I don't know if they're doing it right now, but you used to be able to start on the dock and they got to your CDL and you never had to sleep in the truck or anything. It was not a bad plan. The heady trucker, you're in communist northern Illinois. That's even worse. I used to live in Chicago. I grew up in Hammond, Indiana, but I lived in Chicago for a little while at my first job, and I don't think I would live in Illinois. More time with spouse makes you wonder why you married in the first place. Yeah, if you can't stand to spend time with your spouse, extra time, I just don't get it. I guess I don't get it. The union will lose 20,000 Teamsters if YRC files bankruptcy. Wow. So if they go out, that's a lot. And there's not 20,000 union driving jobs available because it's mostly yellow. I guess they could try to go to UPS. I'm sure there are some other places that are smaller, but no way. Where's the background picture from with the white truck and the mountains? The white truck and the mountains. So the picture that I use in the studio, as I call it, which is the back bedroom, right, is that picture is just an oil painting that one of my wife's friends did. She knows her from work, and that she is a painter, really. And I told her that's what she should do. She should quit her job and paint because she loves doing it and doesn't like her job. I go, well, then you should be painting. Either way, we have a couple of her paintings around the house here, and she's very good at it. So, and I'll tell her that you liked her picture. Chris Spear thinks that since and I don't know where she drew it from. I think she just drew it kind of out of her head. Chris Spear thinks that since his drivers drive 60, everywhere else should have to do as well. I agree. He thinks that that would be safest for the country, as he puts it, which is a big load of baloney. Be safest if everybody did the same speed. Said that a long-term employee is loyal and dedicated at risk. It is, but you're always at risk when you work for someone else. That's Motivation Monday. So as long as you hang your hat on the fact of someone else giving you a paycheck, at any time that paycheck could be over and you no longer have a paycheck because you're depending on someone else to give you a paycheck. The security in your life is not from a job. You don't get any security at a job because they can close. Look at CF, Falcon. All these places can just like that close. Smaller places close. It doesn't matter. The security is in making your own check. That way nobody can fire you. Arizona's open. We have unlimited roller wieners. Oh, I wish they would put that on the signs. Maybe they should put that on the thing in Utah when you have to sign in. Wild Bill, the driver-facing camera thinks I'm smoking because I have an unlit cigar. They tried to fire me 2 months ago. I asked to see the footage. They couldn't find me smoking. So I guess, Greg Brady, the exact words are no smoking, not no tobacco products. They would have to rewrite it to say no tobacco products. Where I see paid dock workers, same as if the driver if you had a CDL. Oh, well, then very encouraging to go to school then, right? To get it. So that'd be the way, that would have been great. How long before YRC starts selling off their subsidiaries? Yeah, I mean, it worked for Roadrunner, sort of. Their stock's up a little bit. Maybe they will do that, by the way. Sell Holland or one of these smaller Redaway or something like that and just sell off part of it to make some money. That's not a bad idea. I'm 1 hour, 15 minutes away from Chicago. I hate Chicago. That's close enough. I'm a couple hours here, and that's close enough. Sometimes I can still hear the gunshots from the downtown Chicago. The Teamsters are no good, Kenneth. When I worked in a warehouse under Teamsters for 5.5 years, you had to quit. They're only giving you 2 days a week. They did absolutely nothing for you. And that's a disappointment in a union. What does the union shop steward say about that? Like, you go to them and say, hey, I'm not working any, why am I not working? You should, or do they always say like, oh, well, this is how you have to start out and eventually, you've only been here 5 years. Because that's kind of what they suggested to me years ago at Yellow. A union LTL called Silver Eagle shut down 10 years ago. Hundreds of drivers lost their jobs. Yeah, and so those drivers are just out of work. They'll have to find a union job to get a pension. When I applied to Roadway, I'd only been driving probably a year or so. This was up in Linwood, Illinois, off of 394. I'm sure some of you know where that is, where the Roadway terminal used to be. You get off on 30, 394 right there. South side of Chicago. Okay, south side. And so I went in and passed everything, and at orientation, basically, they had a room. They go, look, we're going to tell you guys today, and see if you come back. But here's the thing. When you start, you go at the bottom of the board. And when we call you to come in, you have 2 hours to get here. And so even if we talk to your answering machine, you have to come in. And if you don't answer and don't have an answering machine, you'll have to either get one, or when we call and you don't answer, you're fired. If you're not here in 2 hours, you're fired. If you refuse to come in, you're fired. At that time, it was 15 and 8. So they said after you get off of work, we wouldn't call you for at least 8 hours. And they only called on even hours. So if you got off at 3, 11 p.m. would be 8 hours. But they wouldn't call until at least midnight because you were off for even. They didn't call until even. And if they didn't call you around midnight, you would be off till 2. And they said on days that they didn't call you, that's your off day. I hope you enjoyed it. That's exactly what he said. And so somebody asked, how long is this going to be? And he goes, I don't know. He goes, could be a few years, 3 to 5 years before you were able to bid on a route. And that's how it worked then. And me being a young kid then, I'm like, oh, well, forget this. I'm a young kid. I got stuff to do, even though I really didn't have anything to do. So I had a bachelor apartment and nothing. No silverware, just paper plates. But that's it. And I turned him down. I said no. But right now I could have been there all these years and I'd have a great pension stuff going, but I turned him down. That's how it started out then anyway. Well, Bill, you're union and you agree with you've been, you hate being a Teamster. Well, that time you had last time I saw you had all Teamster stuff on, including shoes and socks, which I was really impressed with. So union seniority and not job ability is everything. Well, until the whole place closes, right? The only security is in making your own check, where no one can take it from you, no one but you. Gosh, I'm trying to eat this burger, drive, and watch the stream at the same time. Luckily, not much traffic here. Yeah, please be safe. And I hope it's good. The heady trucker, I worked at a union factory, and people that were hired on didn't like me and kept hiding behind the union trying to get me fired. So working for a union is a no for me. The only good thing about a union, really, if it's a good union, is that you have more job security than just a regular person. They have to go through a program to fire you. They can't just go, you're fired. And you supposedly will get paid better for your time. They can't make you do all this other stuff without paying you. Like my friend works up in Hammond at a paper company, makes those 4 cup holders. When you go through a drive-through, you put your cups in that cardboard thing, he makes that thing. That's a union company. He makes really good money doing that. And if they call him in, he gets 4 hours of pay, period. Even if he only works a minute. He's gone in and his machine broke down and they sent everybody home, he got 4 hours of pay. Because they have a contract for that. That's how it works. So all of his time is paid. No question about it. And that's the good part, especially in trucking, for a strong union at a company, would be all your time would be paid. All of it. There wouldn't be any of this sitting around KLLM for 4 hours without getting paid. There wouldn't be any of that stuff. Because there shouldn't be any of that, really. I was in the Seafarers Union for 22 years. Where'd you do that? Multitasking, yes. Stephen Reeves, hey, will you do a company review FFE? I've been here 6 months, and they're really good starter companies. Sister company is KLLM, yikes. Right, but FFE is a better part of that. Yes, I agree. Mark doesn't play a doctor on TV, but does play a cop at the manhole. Yeah, well, the construction guy. I do the construction guy. The cop was the front man. My union pays me retirement every month like clockwork. I was booked and vested dues paid member. Oh, okay. So, because you had, 20 years to get it or whatever? So you get that besides all this other stuff? Yikes. Apparently I had an attitude because they refused to give me something to do, so I walked off and found something to do myself. The supervisor had a very frail ego. That you're always dealing with people is a disaster. But didn't you say, look, I'm part of the family here? An hour and 15 minutes outside Chicago might only take you as far as Lombard or Addison. That's true. Or D to LAX is 95. Yeah, we're IND to SEA. How about that? I love being in the union when I was top dog. It was bad when you were low man. The longer you stay somewhere, this is at any company, I think, union or not, seniority or not, the easier your job gets. Because you know how to do the job. You know how everything works at the place. So that's why I always encourage people to find a job for them and stay there. You will do better over time, seniority or not. Try DeKalb, an hour and a half to an hour 15. Yikes. Seniority has its perks for sure. Yeah, I think so. Any job, union it would be better, but at any job, if you've been there 10, 12 years, whatever, even 5 years anymore, 6 years, or if you've been at Western Express like 6 days, that kind of seniority, that's gonna really translate into you making more money, you having an easier time of things. You'll know when you go somewhere, oh, this is the loads they have coming out of here. You can call ahead and go, hey, you got this load. What are we doing? You can kind of make your own thing. Women's hair dye will work on men, but I would have to have somebody get that. So I can't go over to the Clairol section and pick out women's dye. And I don't know, I don't know. I'm not doing that. I'm not dyeing at this point. I would have done that years ago, but at this point, no. People don't like it, too bad. It's not about somebody else. I don't care putting all that dye or whatever. I mean, gee whiz. I got enough problems. And at them, you're kind of like the silver or fox at the manhole, kind of when you go down there, really. So, really. So the HEROES Act, maybe not. Trump says yes. New hours of service, as I get close to wrapping up the show here, are out. ATA in favor. Truckload Carriers Association in favor. So we know they're probably bad. The ATA probably wrote these. That's what I think too, or had a big hand in writing them. Because they're like, how can we make it look like we're giving drivers a break, but actually making them work more? And so that's what they figured out over there. Remember, Chris Spears has no CDL, no driving experience, the head of the ATA. Samsara has layoffs, hope they close the whole place down. And a California trucking company is suing because their fuel prices were too high, but to me, no way. Okay, so U.S. Xpress stock, $466 this week from $384. What do we think about that? When, in fact, Pam, the same 5 days, this week is $30.40, and last week was $33.50. And here they're down again, even though the car plants are opening up. So they totally lied about that being a big part of their business or whatever. Maybe they lost that business. I don't know. I know I had a Pam driver write to me and said they changed all the pay around in Fort Wayne at the truck plant up there. No more guarantee, no more overtime, nothing up there. While they were on shutdown up there at the Silverado plant, apparently, they did a huge change of the pay up there, which I don't like them doing, but they can do it. I would rather they did it only for new people. And so I told them, you got to figure, if there's a better job, go take it, because it's not going to get any better. If they to reduce the guarantee, that's a real problem. Over the road driving for a year now, after spending 4 days without trucking on my mind that much with the family, I felt like I was out of place. We'll have to adopt to a new way of life. After spending 4 days without trucking on my mind that much with the family. Absolutely agree. Sometimes I get away with a lot at CFI. I've been here 14 years. Exactly. You've been there. You know the whole system. You're at a high rate of pay now, and you know when you go into a city, oh, I'm probably going to go here. There's a lot of stuff you can do there to make your job easier because you stayed. Well worth it. Sure, you can go down the hair color aisle if you follow up by going down the pantyhose aisle. You can't really do that. That's when a problem occurs. Well, Western Express for 6 days of seniority. Absolutely, Tony. You're into roller wiener for that. That'd be great, because that's all you're going to get at Western Express. George Wilson, largest recorded object thrown over a Chicago overpass expressway was a potbelly stove. What kind of people with the heinous acts like that? Could there be narcotics usage? By the way, who drags a potbellied stove to an overpass to throw it off of there? And the way you wrote it, it's like almost a Guinness record. The largest recorded object, although I totally believe it, in Chicago. Yeah, the thing is, these people should be charged with attempted murder, in my opinion. I mean, come on. Let's throw the book at these people. Let's throw the pot-bellied stove at these people. If you're at Western without a felony charge, you're a superstar. Oh, if you have 6 days there and no felonies? Oh, my gosh. They probably, as you come in there, the trucks part for you to walk up to the building. Christina Jones, another great show. Thank you very much for your hard work and your search and all these stocks and stories. Well, thank you for being here. I can't do the show without everybody here, and I appreciate everybody coming in, especially on a holiday. Although it's kind of a somber holiday because we're remembering those that died for our freedoms. That's today, and we should be thinking about that all day, right? And every day. That's why we're free every day. Memorial Day is every day, really. I was number one in seniority for 15 years at my last job. Now I'm second from the bottom at my new job. but get paid better and treated better. Well, seniority may not have its perks everywhere. But I think if you find the right company for you and then you stay there, I think it works out great for you because you'll know the whole system. The person that dispatching whatever may only been there a month. You can help them. Oh, if you just look over here, you can get me a load out of this place. You can almost get your own loads that way. I mean, it works great. Heady trucker, I'm going to be a king at Western. Yeah, they basically will. They'll give you a cape and everything. What freedoms? The freedoms that people voluntarily gave up to stay in their homes and everything else that they volunteer, like to peaceably assemble, those kind of things. The Constitution only limits the government. It doesn't limit us. Okay, it's very specific that rights not enumerated here remain with the people. So they're just enumerating a few of them, but it says the rest of the rights we still get. The government is shall not prohibit, right? The government doesn't prohibit, and then they're prohibiting. You can't do that. Every business should have stayed open. Everything. Totally should have stayed open. Guys, tell me a great tanker company. What's a great tanker company? Western, they are ankle bracelet friendly. Yeah, Western has an extra plug in, from what I understand. They have an extra plug in their trucks, so you can plug in any police monitoring equipment to charge it up, keep it charged up. So they have each specialized plug that some different departments use, and you get to plug your equipment right into the sleeper of those trucks and keep it charged up. That's pretty convenient. That's pretty nice of them, too, to do that. They don't have to do that, but it's pretty good of a company to do that. Stephen Reeves just subscribed. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Enjoy the videos. The Crab Company, been binge watching them on your 34th. Thank you for that. Some are getting a little bit old, but generally it's the same companies, just a different crappy day for them, certainly. But it's the same. If the less the time that you're paid for, the higher up the crap scale the company goes, really. More of this off time, like FFE and KLLM. FFE is a lot better than KLLM in that they're sisters. Here, bar none, 60 cents. It's a Swift company, for crying out loud, right? But then, no. So each place has got its own, goods and bads on it. So I want to thank everybody for being here on Memorial Day. Remember your freedoms. Like, always push that, right? Always push that. Many of you veterans, me too. Many went before us, right, and died, didn't come back for those freedoms. We can't just give them away. It really, really bothers me that people did that. Freedom has risks involved in it. You might die, but you know what? If people didn't go and take that risk and die for us, we wouldn't even have these freedoms. So what is the point? What's the point of living a life of nothingness, hiding in your corner of your house? Where 0.2% of us might die. What kind of life is that? What kind of life? I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. It isn't freedom. Without freedom, there's nothing. It's living in your house, locked up, it's nothing. Open up the businesses. Let's get back out there to work, certainly. Western Express and Air Products. Oh, yeah, Air Products would be another good one. How about Trimac, too? All tanker companies, they pay their employees for their time, too. If you go to KLLM, you can get 9 million miles. KLLM, you can get 9 million miles by the end of this year. The thing is, that other driver that's there, he probably has 71 million miles by now. I love that KLLM. I did a video about this for people that weren't on the channel or whatever then, or haven't seen it. There's a driver that had tons of miles, and they wouldn't back down from it. It was like impossible amount of miles to get. I don't remember the exact number. It was impossible. They never backed down from it. They would not back down from it. So just that tells you something about the company, because the people in charge don't know anything about anything. ABF is at the old roadway terminal. Oh, I figured it would stay yellow. But so you know what I'm talking about. Down there by the scale that nobody goes down to. You get off to go to that scale, but I never do that. But that's where yellow was, right there. 394 and 30, right there. Scale down the road there. So let's see. Don't forget to, where's this thing here I go to? Oh, I didn't talk about Jay. I always forget about Jay, and I shouldn't. I'm sorry, Jay. Jay's going to be live tomorrow. I checked. He will be live tomorrow at 9 p.m. Go over there and talk about the car shipping business channel. Jay is a great guy. Answer all your questions. Need a job that will treat you like a professional? Go to GP Transco. Right? No driver-facing camera. It's voluntary, so don't worry about that. Fleet Nav Systems was here today, and I appreciate you coming in, even though it's a holiday. And be sure to get in at 3 p.m. Tuesday tomorrow. The call-in show and also the lightning round. Always fun. I try to get in on the comments there. If you wear it, be sure to make it a parrot. And Gracie, of course, appreciates everybody being here, although she's never impressed by people being here. It's so disappointing. But that's how cats go. You know how that is with a cat. And I want to thank Wild Bill for being first today, at least on my screen. Let's see here. Ryan O'Ryan was here today. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Cassius King Trucking. The Heady Trucker was here. Thank you for being here. Columbia George was here today. I have a Queefish. I love it. Right. Let's see where I'm going. Oh, Stephen Reeves was here. Thank you for coming in today. Roger Penske was here. The President, George H.W. Bush. George Costanza was here. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Eugene Waller, thanks for coming in. Mark Ely, Kenneth P., Tony 5000. Everybody was here today. I'm glad that everybody was able to come in. Alexandra was here. Thank you for being here today, and good luck on the Walmart loads. Christina Jones, thank you for coming in. Darnell Rhodes, hello. Dane Silver. Let's see, where else do I have here? And I go up here. Misty was here today. Thank you for being here. Adrian Payne. And I have to head out today. Don't want to keep people too long. And let's see, there's this here. And I did pretty good on the clickies today, I think. So otherwise, there'll be more videos coming up as always, and news and everything else. Be safe out there today. And remember, people died for your freedoms today. That's what it's all about. Everybody, at least take a moment today to think about that. So we'll be back soon here with more Trucking Answers. Thanks for being here.